We live? Oh, that music's a bit loud. Let's turn that down a smidge. About there, that looks good. We'll get everything set back up. That's on. Yes, good, we're live. Game is now launching. I need to get a new graphics card. I am so sure that it's my GPU is dying. Maybe it's a power supply issue, because I also just got a warning that my USB had been overdrawn on power. It's not great. You know what, actually? We got some things in here we don't need to actually have plugged in. We'll unplug this. My webcam should be working. Alright, hopefully that. Now, this is also an issue I want to show to, like, the beamng devs. When I open up Showroom for the first time without opening anything else, it does a weird thing. My computer slipped on banana? Yeah, just a little bit. It does this. And the error log for this is unable to find ground... No, it's not that one. No, one of the errors is like unable to find resolution or something. Yeah. So it's a bit of a hassle. Now we gotta realign everything. Let's move over here. And let's respawn in every single car. You know, I should probably put the stream back in Discord, shouldn't I? Here we go. Back up. There we go. You know what? Yeah, we'll just spawn everything again. Welcome, Cast3TT3. If you're one of the people that had the stream just drop on you, and now it's on a different URL, it's because my computer crapped out on me. I need a new GPU. I don't need to spawn the first two, but may as well. Let's just spawn all of them in. And we'll just continue on from where we left at. Yeah, I know that it's not a... I need more money. Give me your channel membership. Get all the channel memberships so I can afford to buy a new PC. It's your obligation. Not ask what I can do for you in a stream. Ask what you as a stream can do for me. Let's line up quickly. Right about here. I'm joking, by the way. I can afford it, and I am going to afford it. I've got plans for that. It's a little off-center, but that'll do. As we always say, near enough is good enough. It's Cassetto. Or cassette, sorry. I see now. Sorry, I'm a little flustered after what just happened. What are we up to? This one? Yeah. So still my mum's credit card. My mum has offered to buy things for me in the past, so I'll see if she wants to pay for it. If not, I mean, I can afford it. Phil, if I were to hypothetically buy you a 3060 Ti, would I accept? Well, yes, I would. But I'm probably going to aim, personally, myself for something a little bit higher than that. Not much higher. Probably wouldn't go like a 3080. I'd probably just go like the, what's the 6700? XT? Something like that. Okay. Is that everything? Yep, that's 10 cars. Alright, we're back here. And in the front of this car. So, what I was saying is this probably didn't need to go all the way forwards. That would be just a lot of extra weight. You'd probably get this being boxed off here, or this just being a little bit of a weird design here. Then it would go down to a pivot point down low, so then the hood area could all pivot forwards in one go. And it would also hold just a little bit of a bracket mounting for any sort of radiators or coolers at the front. Okay, no front drive on this race car by the looks of it. You've got a 67 XT, I'm super satisfied with it. Good. That's kind of what I'm planning to get as well, because it's really good on power and on par with like a 3070. And the 3080s are not much higher. I should say 3070 Ti's. Ringu has done another 5 memberships. Let's see if YouTube actually works this time. Anyway, what the hell? Wait. What? Hold on. They've tried to use the automation transmission fixture, but they've made it like super narrow. What the hell? I don't fully understand what it is that they were trying to represent here. Weird things are going on. Ringo donated to the GPU fund. Thank you very much, Ringo. Also, anybody that didn't have channel memberships before having shown up, it would be there. Welcome, Ekai Min. By the way, I'm sorry if I didn't say hello to you. Just super duper flustered. Then we have an V2 or a V-twin, a motorbike engine. So, I'm actually going to say that it's okay that this thing has 4-lug wheels. That is entirely acceptable. Because this thing is not going to be that powerful or that torquey. I am going to, however, say that they didn't get the cylinder head to line up with the engine block. Tisk, tisk, tisk. I doubt that's how you mount your engine, but okay. I guess that what they were trying to do is have, like, the drive line go here, but they just didn't... Yeah. Also, under super compression of the suspension... No, I don't think that actually would collide. This is quite a rakish angle. I don't actually think that would collide. I think they're pretty good there. Alright. So, yeah, very weird rear engine choice that they've got here. Also, no valve cover? I mean, you could have gone with pretty much anything three-dimensional that could have just capped off the top. We do have 4 valves per cylinder on this engine. That's interesting. Looks like it's also a single overhead cam by the looks of it as well. So, a bit of an odd one there. Welcome, Zenturi, to the stream. Hey, bro. Just stuck at the station for 3 hours now. Nice to be able to make your stream again. Oh. That does not sound like a fun time. I've been at train stations where the train just doesn't come. As for the intake, we have a little bit of a ram air effect going straight onto a... That is so narrow, it looks like a pod filter. And they've made it out of 3D parts. There are actually air filter mod fixtures that you could have potentially used there. And then I think that's meant to be a radiator or a cooler or something. But I believe what they're trying to do here is get air flowing this way because of the tilt of it. I don't think that works. Unless... No, that air wouldn't come down there. Now, the reason why this radiator being here for cooling doesn't work is you've got what I'm assuming is meant to be a fuel tank, but is actually you've used a toolkit, tool box fixture here. Yeah, that's not how you would do a thing. Also, this is meant to be a motorbike. I mean, I suppose it is 4 valve per cylinder, so I could give it a bit of a pass here. But if it's meant to be... Oh, hold on. Oh, no, it does go 2 into 1. Okay. You probably should have put the radiator anywhere else. Honestly, that is just not a good place for that radiator. Ground effect guy? Wait, that's Venturi? What? I doubt that you're getting Venturi, especially if you're having your radiator mounted here. Nope, not fun at all. 20 hours of train today, Lamau. Oh my god, what? Why? This is a weird but detailed build. It is weird and detailed. I love it. There are a few errors, though, and this is probably one of them. 2 that they didn't cover that up. I just can't tell exactly what they've done here. And hopefully they got sound effects for 2-cylinder as well. That would be rather cool. I like the fact that they've got a little suspension thing to hold up the exhaust a little bit. Nice, well done. There's no air filter mixture mod. Oh, yes, there is air filter fixture mods. Because I used one like a little while ago with the new update. So, I know it's there. Fat tires? You know what? I don't think they're actually that fat. They're about as wide as that. Now, I don't think this is an old racer. I think this is a modern racer as well. Because if we go in here, that's very low profile tires. That's most definitely meant to be radials then. And they've got like full-on vented disc brakes and everything like that, which was 60s and newer. I feel as if this is based upon an old car, but is actually modern. Considering it's also got like a detailed front aero, this is at least 70s then. Probably more likely to be late 70s to early 80s sort of time period. Or anything after that. And this is like a default body that they've worked upon like a kit car sort of thing. I agree, interesting thought process, very detailed. Some weird mechanical design choices, but I love this build, and yeah, traveling from the UK to central Germany by train. Oh, okay. Does that usually take that long? Ow. For that small of an engine, they feel giant. Yeah, I know. You are right. I think that they are... What? For this, engine design? Yeah. Also, with this wheel and tire package, I feel as if this is probably actually 80s or 90s. But to be honest, it is probably like a mid-2000s car. Because it looks very mid-2000s ethos of putting things together sort of design choice. Now people would actually try to stay period and stuff like that and go for the experience more than just like creating a fast car out of any sort of kit car you can get your hands on. Is it gonna do the Mercedes in 1999? Are you talking about flipping? I doubt it. In your opinion, what is the best way to make air vents in modern cars? Which vent? There's front vents, there's radiator vents, there's lower vents, side vents, rear vents. You have to be a little bit more specific, Jackson. Also, welcome, Jackson. Make them fake? Yeah, I suppose if it is modern, then yes, make them fake. Not usually, but I'm going to overnight. I'm going overnight, which was a mistake. This build gives me very kit car go-kart. Yeah, very kit car-esque sort of design. What are the front tires? Front tires are very narrow compared to the rear, which means that this thing is probably actually rear engine, not just looking rear engine. Alright, next is almost the same car as the previous one, totally in every way. Looks exactly the same. This actually looks pretty cool. Is there any sort of like insignia? Magic Hornet GT. It feels lopsided, this badging. I know what you've tried to do here. You've tried to separate the name across here, but it doesn't feel like it's done right. Suspension vent. No. Not a bad design, though. Looking very period correct. I feel that's just not right. Let's have a look at '67 muscle car. 1961 muscle car? Getting a little bit more like it. Let's have a look at the GTHO. Because that's kind of what it's mostly looking at. This doesn't even have lights in the bumper. Alright. So yeah, I don't feel that that's the right sort of indicator fixture there. Your internet keeps cutting out, my computer keeps cutting out. We are finally doing it in the morning. We are doing a stream in the morning, and welcome Shibi54 to the stream. How's it going, bro? Tasmania moment? What? That 90s Falcon, though? You're talking about the one that I had the picture of? Yeah. On the air vents, I'm talking about the interior vents like the ones in the dash. Modern ones, I would say that what the guy has done here is actually pretty good. But they're very standardized vents nowadays. I wonder if they got the... No, they don't have the vents here. They're almost like 90% just like the round one that you like push open sort of thing. I don't know why they've become standardized across brands, but it's something they've done. Yeah, high beams actually indicators are the ugly ones on top. Oh, interesting. That's pretty cool. Those don't feel right at all. They feel completely wrong. Like the teardrop off to one side doesn't look right. Yeah, this doesn't do that. None of these do that. And none of these do that. There's no examples that I can find right now of that. There's this, but that is indicators. And it's also square. Fog lights? Even still, yeah, nah. Not like that. I'm going to bully the automation devs to add superchargers. It is meant to be something that they're doing, apparently, anyway, so... Patience is a virtue, I suppose. We've got some radial tires that look like cross plies in their cross-sectional aspect ratio, so very much approve. Then 5-stud wheels on 2-piston solid disc brakes. Okay, acceptable. Double wishbone. And then the engine itself. Dual carb? It is dual carb. I'm going to say yes to the carburetors and probably still no to the manifolds, the exhaust manifolds. Correct sort of intake plenum though, that is good. Unlike the other two V8s, which varying degrees of wrongness. Some of them have had the lights inside the bumpers, but they were 100% round. 1967 Plymouth. Damn it, I just told you not to put that in. Plymouth. Ovular kind of square, but not teardrop. And they also are not, like, incredibly inset. Let's go 1961. It's the only design. Let's go 1959. Same sort of thing. Let's go 1965. Yeah, they're all showing up as square. So, I would just say that they're probably all meant to be square. Let's go 1975. No, they don't have any by the looks of it. Can't really tell. That's the full resolution of the image, apparently. Nothing there. Yeah, no. None of them have lights down there. So, I think that Roadrunner is the best example. Okay. Roadrunner car. Square. Doesn't have. Doesn't have. Okay, yeah, I can see that. But not incredibly inset, and yeah, completely round. Oh, that does have... Okay, it just kind of looked like a bit of a trim detail. Yeah, so those don't feel right. That feels a little bit weird, but it is still at least there. Nice spot there, Game Boy 10. Yeah, I'm just going to go Game Boy. A lot of people change their headers themselves on those cars. Tubular for long tubular if it would fit. Well, if this is a modified car, then it won't get a fill score because I don't really give fill scores to modified cars. We've got here 4 barrels, so it is twin 4-barrel. Still going to say no to the headers. Coming down to the rear, we have solid axle, coil spring. Probably would have been leaf spring, but I'm not going to poo-poo that really at all. Then we have drum brakes. Not bad. Cacophonous boot in here. Hello! Hello! On the back, same sort of thing, except I think they've chosen more correct sort of taillights then. And the backhand looks just nice. Missed a little bit of trim clip there, but not too bad. That's meant to be the rear indicators as well. Interesting design choice. What did they do on the Plymouth here? Did they even have front indicators? I don't think they did by the looks of it. Weird. Alright, well, apparently that's a thing. Now, this is standing at least a little bit low. This feels like it's standing really super high. And I feel that a lot of the issue here is the solid axle rear suspension, which is an unfortunate thing. I just would have done Z body offset, to be honest, on the advanced fixtures thing. What sort of tire material do we have? Medium compound, that's good. Okay. Not bad design. I do like the twin sort of side thing. Nice. Coming to the inside, we've got the American wrong side drive. I feel that the front seats are a little bit too far back. Or maybe the steering wheel doesn't come forward enough. Now, this steering wheel is probably going to point directly at the front wheels. Do we feel that's happening? Maybe. Interior is not so bad in here. Keyhole in the dash. There's a lot of details in here for the dash. I feel that's the wrong sort of radio, though. I don't know if they were even required yet. Potentially, yeah, but I feel as if it's just like such a norm that it would feel weird for them to not do that. I also feel that these seats are not accurate because they wouldn't have headrests. They also probably wouldn't have had bolstering either. They would have just been straight up flat seats. Let's have a look at Roadrunner interior as just an example. So here we go, a non-bench seat variant, though most of these are bench seats. Such little bolstering that it wouldn't even warrant mentioning. There, it looks like it's divided up for bolstering, but there is actually no bolstering there. Mostly bench seats. But yeah, not this. Not at all, really. That feels completely just wrong. Unless this is meant to be a resto mod, sure. We'll have a look at their description later on. But there's a lot of cool detail in there. I do approve of most of this. And I feel that is a very good steering wheel choice as well. What do we got here? There seems to be a few different variations of wheel. Okay. Yeah, okay, there is a spoked hollow sort of wheel. Nice work. Decent. Could have been lower. Could have fixed the seats. Could have had log exhaust. You just kind of slide off those pleather seats. Yep, that's generally what had happened. No bolstering generally doesn't give you great results. What is happening here with the headlight? I feel what happened is they took this through Blender, but then they didn't smoothen things out again, which is a bit of an issue when going into Blender. Maybe I'll do a video on it one day, but it's such a small use case that I don't think it's that big of an issue. Doing suspension body offset is usually better than setting ride height in suspension. Setting tab as many bodies export with way too short a wheel travel without the offset. Yes, that can happen. Especially if you're wearing nylon pants. Okay. Now, this looks mostly good. I am not going to agree with your front vent choice. It just does not fit the rest of the design. Everything here is very soft and very rounded, including the headlights, and then this is like a very angular front grille. Doesn't look good. There's a reason why the Jag is so synonymous with these sorts of bodies. XJ6. Is that right? No. No. XJ... S? What's the old Jag? I can't remember the name of that Jag. I'm drawing a complete blank. Got a head off now, D. Hellman. I spent a lot of my peanut brain Wait. I spent a lot of my peanut brain into the little story of my car, so I'm dead. Oh, okay. Catch you later, bro. Your car is actually... You did make it in today, yes. E-Type, that's the one. Thank you for the help. Yeah. Round grille, fits the design. This doesn't. Yo, too many bigum blades? Jib what? JRPG? Are you talking about the music? I don't know what this is. I think I need an adult. Anyway, looking at the wheels as well, they do not fit at all, not even slightly. I know that if this is meant to be a retro recreation, sure, but trying to get like fitting tires. Got sports compound on 5 lugs, probably didn't need 5 lugs. 2-piston vented disc brakes on double wishbones. The engine itself is an inline 4-cylinder with a variable intake manifold and a single overhead cam, 3 valve per cylinder. That is unusual. Then a race exhaust. The indicator on the top of the fake fenders. What? The indicators are on the hood of the... Yeah, I know. I've seen. This vent probably sticks out a little too far as well. No. I'm going to call a no on this engine. I'm going to get this jumper off. I don't need it. Anyway. Big no on this engine. Lots of no. Especially with such a short wheelbase and such small tires. Unless this is meant to be a drag car. Wrong cylinder head. Wrong manifold. Wrong turbo. Did they go 4 pistons? No, it is only 2 pistons. So at least the brakes and suspensions are right. Then coming down to the rear, we have multi-link 4-piston vented brakes. Okay. That's weird. If this is a short production run car, that's just not right. And also, the tires are incredibly narrow for what looks to be an incredibly overpowered engine. The rear seems under-designed. It feels like it's missing a lot of detail that is necessary. To be honest, I don't think I've ever seen 3 valve per cylinder design used anywhere besides bikes, scooter engines. Apparently Honda had it, but I could be wrong. I remember when I made a replica E-Type in automation, possibly my favorite car I've ever made. The body is just so easy to work with when you're creating an E-Type. I do like the rear taillights, I do like the rear diffuser kind of look, even if it is a fake diffuser. This vehicle is probably going to be god-awful to handle as well, by the way. Just a straight-up hole? Did they turn the exhaust invisible and then it just didn't render it in? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Okay, so if you place an exhaust, and you can see the exhaust in automation, but then you set the paint color option for the exhaust to be invisible, everything including your fixtures that you can see will turn invisible. So what you would do in this situation is then put in 3D fixture exhausts over where your current real exhaust comes out. And the fixtures would actually be there. Honda did 3 valve cylinder engines? Yeah. Thought so. And once again, some weird polygonal stuff happening there. I don't know. I just can't agree with a lot of choices. As I said, I do like the taillights though. Very cool 90s sort of looking thing. Interior, yeah, this is a retro recreation, I'm guessing. Yeah, it's decent. Doesn't look like there's a touchscreen. It looks like we've got capacitive touch controls, which suck, but very indicative of a car industry that doesn't really care about their customers. They just want to have it look good on screen or on page, and sell. They don't care about you once you leave most of the time. Only a few car companies do, but they're the odd ones out. Now, literally, they're making it so then you can't repair your cars and making their cars less reliable. So then you have to go back to them to repair them just so they can sap more money out of you. So they just generally don't care about you. Ford Triton V8. Didn't also that, the Ford police car that was around for like 20 years, whatever that thing was? Didn't that... I can't remember what it was. Crown Vic. Didn't the Crown Vic also had the overhead cam 3-valve per cylinder engine? I can't really remember. I know that Ford of Australia, for whatever reason, did a 3-valve version of the Boss engine. And then called it a Barra V8. And sold like 5. I don't know. They didn't sell many. I have seen one example of that engine. And it's got only a little bit more power than the inline 6. Why? Why would they bother with that? Like, either... it was such a weird choice. Anyway. Are we out of music? What's happening? We are out of music. Did I not have that set to 100? I didn't have that set to 100. Okay. Next song. Then we got this cool looking little thing, which is made by the same person. And this one is much cooler, except for the fact that the interior looks completely incredibly wrong. Front's looking pretty decent here with these things down here. I think they have... Sorry. Also sent this to Blender as well, because that is all pixelated. Oh, polygonated? I wouldn't know how you'd say it. But yeah, what you would do for these sorts of things is you would select the things that you want to be all nice and smooth in, like, per bit. Select them all. Then M. Then go down to by distance. And then it'll remove a whole bunch of nodes. Once you've done that, you would go top left to mesh, normals, reset vectors. Then, if it's come up with any blue lines on it, you're going to go edges up in the top right, clear sharp, and then that'll give you a smooth one. I know it's a bit of a pain in the butt, but apparently there's something in the automation space where somebody's made a tool for making that a little bit better though. Finally, I don't have to wake up in the early morning to watch these. Yes, it is in the afternoon. Why are you so late then, McDonald's Big Mac? We'll also see, it's just a sleep schedule thing as to why I'm doing it now. Grand Victoria is multiple variants of the Ford modular V8, if I remember correctly, including 2, 3, and 4 valve cylinder variants, with 4 being the rarest. Interesting. Built-in torpedo launcher? It does a little bit look like that. The Ford 4.6 did have 3-valve version. Okay, yeah. Also, welcome, Cry Havoc. How's it going? Let's go and see what we got here. So we got... Is that a sports compound? Is that cross-plies? I can't tell. Cool-looking wheels, though. They'd fit much better than the design that they chose over there. Very 60s-esque. Then we have... What's that black patch? Oh, it's automation doing weird cutout stuff. Alright, shenanigans. Is that 4-piston brakes on vent? You probably don't need brakes that powerful. Then, independent front suspension. Is that an electric motor? Oh, it is. Okay. I'm pretty sure that's what they're going for here. And I'm pretty sure that's also meant to be a massive battery pack that runs a fair portion of the car. But then there's no weight on the rear, and we've got a rear drive as well. With 2-piston vented brakes on the rear. Hopefully the brake bias is not too far forward. We shall see. Independent rear suspension. Standard looking stuff. Except they didn't do drive lines out from the motor outwards. Now, you won't often see a single motor in an axle. The reason why is because you don't have any play between the wheels then, which makes going around corners tricky. I think there's a few companies that do them, but then they like make a housing where they look like they're one motor. This doesn't really look like you've done that. So, Apparently there's a tool in the automation Discord somewhere that somebody was talking about, which fixes things for use in Blender. I think it fixes material names and the polygonization of models when you put it through Blender. I'm not sure. I heard about it, and I never actually looked into it. I'm sorry, but EVs suck. That's your choice, sorry, your opinion. I don't particularly agree. I saw something in here. What is that? Oh, it's just the inside of the taillight housing. Which car are we on? Oh, okay. They've got it set up so then the brake lights don't ever turn off. Okay. Pretty good looking car on the back. Probably could have done with some sort of ventilation back there. You've somehow stuffed up the door handle on the rear here as well. Also, probably not the right door handle. Probably could have done away with the handle altogether and just say that they would use the latch on there. No number plate placement. And I also don't like this bumper because the offset of its seating position is way too far off. I'm guessing that's meant to be for charging. Let's hope. Banned? Nah, I wouldn't ban somebody for saying that they don't like EVs. Saying that they suck is not accurate. Saying that there's something that you don't like or don't want, that is entirely fine. You can have that opinion. There are problems with EVs. There is also problems with petrol motors that go beyond just the environment, which petrol vehicles don't actually really do much about. Diesels are a lot worse, but still, in the grand scheme of things, compared to power generation, not that bad. But power generation for electric vehicles is also incredibly more efficient than electric vehicles. So yeah, that's why I say, like, say that you don't like it, but saying that they suck, that's it's just an incorrect statement. Because they have their use cases, and they have their gimmicks. That they're actually pretty cool gimmicks, to be honest. Usually one motor per axle is sometimes used by budget EVs, but yeah, using EV motor with a traditional engine layout on your only driven axle is... They've got an electric motor by the looks of it in the front as well, so it's all-wheel drive. Having your wheels locked together through a motor, not great. You're also putting a lot of stress through the motor that can cause issues with torsional stresses put through it. No, opinions aren't allowed on the internet. EVs don't suck. ICE and jet engines, on the other hand, did suck. You mean air. They do suck in air. EVs are great, but people complain about them just because they aren't petrol. That's a choice. Just an opinion, which is fine. I think I actually like both for their own individual purposes. Also, welcome HJO. How's it going? Is that Hungry Jacks off? Is that what your name is? God, now I want Hungry Jacks. Anyway, I saw a reflection of that, the purple muscle car over there. It is so pixelated. That looks so shit there. Coming to the interior. They haven't finished it off, but it actually looks pretty decent. Not enough legroom. The good thing about not having a motor is you can move this sort of stuff further forwards. Is that 4 hydraulic cylinders? Oh, okay, they've just used a thing here. You don't need 3 pedals with a EV, especially if you're using direct drive from your motors to your wheels. This, wrong. Unless there's meant to be something else for it, which I very much doubt. There was actually a car that simulated manual gearbox stuff. I remember that. I doubt that's what you're going for, but yeah. The dash-mounted mirror usually works if you don't have a top. Here it's a bit of an issue, because your eyesight comes from up there, which means your reflecting is not going to show you really anything in the back there. They also have to be a little bit higher mounted, so probably like mounted up there, maybe even mounted outside. This, though a cool idea, probably wouldn't get allowed by governments to be used on the road. Aren't EVs going down to 1 pedal now? I doubt that, because if you need to brake in an emergency, to rely solely upon whatchamacallit would be a problem. Self-driving, you could do almost no pedals or just a brake, but still wouldn't completely trust it. Redundant master cylinders, I've never thought of that. I don't actually think that's what this is. I think this is to divide pressures, but for the brake at least, some race cars will have individual master cylinders or brake cylinders. I can't think of what the term is. Only one per bias on the front and rear. So you would have one going to 2 front wheels and 2 to the rear wheels. And 1 to the 2 rear wheels. You don't want your car to go in emergency braking whenever you lift gas. I doubt that's what it is. I think what they're saying is, like self-driving with a brake for emergencies. I don't know if self-driving is there at all. Not even close. I could see it being a potential thing in the future, though. But, if you're going to do away with everything else to do with driving, you can probably just make it a button that you'd have to slap in an emergency for braking. Now, this thing just doesn't look right. Off the top of my head, on the front, I can't tell you what's wrong. It's probably the leading lines. You know what, actually? It looks a little bit like that, Fisker Karma, I think. Yeah, Fisker Karma? Yeah. So, arguably, one of the uglier cars to ever see the light of day. If that's what you tried to copy, yeah, unfortunately, you've made a bad choice. Voice-activated brakes? That could be a potential thing in the future. Yeah, I could see that happening. I think your leading lines are non-existent. Except if you're going for, like, inverted leading lines, which clearly doesn't work. It just doesn't look good. Also, this brum around here looks a little bit weird. I know what you're trying to do there, but I don't particularly like it. Sorry. Personally, though, I just can't get behind that. Then the side vent doesn't look right at all. That looks fine. Probably could have done with a little bit of mud flap. Hood's completely vacant of any detail. There's a Fisker, yeah, even the Fisker Karma has stuff on the hood there. Such a hideous car. Like, yeah, just the side of it actually looks okay from this angle. But otherwise, terrible car. It looks like it's starting at the ground, staring at the ground sniffing something. A little bit, yeah, I do agree with that assessment. I can picture amazing pranks done by passengers in autonomous cars due to steering by voice. Huh. I went on kind of a date with a girl that invited a bunch of her friends, which should have been the first big red flag. And we were driving around a lot, and they were getting more and more shitty. And I hadn't realized, but my really clapped out 700,000 kilometer ex-taxi Ford Falcon, the lockout to slam into reverse had broken and didn't do anything anymore. So they found that out, that they could just slam the thing into reverse whilst I was driving, and I would have to jam on the brakes and lock up, which I luckily didn't have ABS working on that particular week. That had just failed on me. And I would have to lock up to make sure that they weren't blowing up my transmission. And that transmission didn't last much longer. Yeah, no. That was like the line. I was done then. They did not want to get out of my car. They just wanted to harass me, basically. So, yeah, I tricked one of them out and pushed the other one out of the car and then drove away. Both of those white cars have style, in my opinion. I mean, this one, mostly, yeah, I agree. This one, no, not in my opinion. Also, welcome Stefan B to the stream. Did you know that they still make Fisker Karma? The company is now called Karma, and they still make it under a new name. Yeah, but don't they make like a really small number? And aren't they failing because the old name of the company was so dragged through the dirt because of like decisions that were made? You had a die-cast version of it. Interesting. Yeah, it was really shitty what they were doing. Sounds like a lawsuit. The car was worth like 600 bucks. Like, not really worth the money. How were people like that even functioning? Yeah, I know, right? They were hot. So up until that point, I was kind of like, well, I'll grin and bear it. But yeah, nah. It just wasn't worth it. You left for a moment, you missed a great story. Welcome, Chacha. How's it going? Anyway, let's go in and see what we got on the inside. Is that a... That's an indent. Weird choice. Alright, anyway. 5-lug, 2-piston, vented disc brakes, double wishbone, nice and standard. Please be inline. Damn it! Did that work? There we go.
And when everyone's super, no one will be.
No. It just wouldn't be in this type of car. I think the only rear-wheel drive flat 4 is the FT86 and the BRZ, which are the same car. Effectively, that is. No. This thing is getting a full-on 0 from me. I'm not even going to give it a simplified a fill score at all. I'm just going to give it a simplified fill score only. If it had been a nice car, though, someone would have got a backhand at the least. What are we talking about? I will make a dad? It will make a dad? What? This does have BRZ 86 vibe, though? No, not really. That car is meant to be light and low slung. This thing looks big, heavy, and bulbousy. It looks like this thing is meant to have an inline 6. You might get away with a V-type engine, but really it looks like an inline 6 sort of thing. Oh my gosh, that's the tiny bean engine? Yeah. This vehicle looks like it's meant to weigh somewhere around like 1,400 to 1,900 kilos. Depending on whether it's from Japan or not. How much does a BRZ weigh? BRZ, because I believe the BRZ is the heavier of the two. Curb weight. Yeah, like 1,300 kilos. This thing looks like it's meant to be 1,400 to like 1,900 kilos. It looks like it's meant to be... What's a 400Z curb weight? What is it called a 400Z? Let's just go 400Z, because I don't remember the name of it. Oh, what even is this bullshit? 1,600 kilos, yeah. The people say that the BRZ is already underpowered. That small, tiny engine, I doubt is going to push this thing that well. And a short cast header. No. That's a no from me. This thing is getting a simplified fill score, and it's not going to be great. Sticker turbo, that, and it's a weird Mustang a little bit, sure. BRZ and its sister cars are good in the corners, but only make 200 horsepower. Yeah. 2.3 liter flat 4. Okay, so it looks like it's meant to be replicating the updated BRZ engine. New BRZ makes 238, but has much better power torque curve, but still not that much power compared to what people want. All of the reviews that you'd heard so far are probably all just the people that got given early access to it, and they don't want to poo-poo the car because then they won't be given the opportunity to look at the cars later. Later reviews I heard from people saying that yes, it does have more power, but it still feels as if the thing is well underpowered compared to really what you would want. I don't think an inline 6 would fit in that body model in automation. Yeah, it does. This fits a pretty big engine. I reckon you could fit a massive i6 in the automation. Yeah. WTV is LB. LB is kind of like, think of hillbillies. You can fit a nice 6 into anybody with enough fiddling. Not in automation, no, you can't. I suppose actually, yes, you could. You could export the car to, beamng. Sorry, I don't know why that took so long for my brain to figure that out. Then take the model from there and then make a mod out of it with a bigger engine bay and put it back through thing. Looks like we got multi-link here with single piston brakes. What do we got for brakes on the front? 2 piston? I feel as if this thing is probably going to have a brake bias issue. We'll see though. I feel as if the wheel doesn't have enough offset. Yeah. Anyway. Coming out to the rear. The design is a lot better on the back, but still, it's not following the body lines. As you can see here, the body line is right there, and it doesn't feel like you're following it. And this leading line here, it feels as if you're a little too flat. It also looks very Porsche-y. But I will say that that taillight integration looks really good. I like it. Rear diffuser looks fine. Some weird extra design quirks there, but not too bad. And very much a spec sort of looking exhaust. Still 120 horsepower more than the 22... I don't know what that means. It might have to be a push rod? What are you talking about? Oh, you mean to make the size smaller. Welcome, I Play Everything. How's it going? I don't think it needs more power. It keeps up with the GTI for most of the quarter mile. It's way faster than the Miata, which is the closest competitor in size and price. The price is pretty high. Not gonna lie. What is the BRZ price? And MX-5 price? Oh, you know what? Actually, they're a lot closer than what I thought. I didn't know that. GTI price. Oh, I know that the price in Australia is actually exorbitantly high. I'm guessing like 60,000? 53,000, yeah. Alright. Interior now. What the hell? You know that could have gone inside the glass, right? I feel like that's just like a noisemaker for wind noise. Manual gearbox, gated shifter. No. Probably no. Everything else here looks fairly decent. Is that 7-Up? Mountain Dew. Okay. Huh. I didn't know that that was actually branded. It's got all the nutritional facts on there and everything. Nice. Yeah. It looks good. They got the start button, but no keyhole. Ooh, you do still often need some sort of... Okay, I see what they've done now. But they probably should have like switched the places of these, so then the loops were close to each other, and then used maybe some sort of what is it? A Taurus? Yeah, a Taurus. To like loop the things together like a keyring. That's a nice touch. I think it's pretty cool. I think that's meant to be a house key, and I think that's meant to be like you plop it there and then the car registers the key. I need to make a car. I need to make a cam car now. Oh, you mean out of that? Sure, why not? Anywho, cool car. Not a cool car, I should say. Then we got this, which I believe is made by the person that made this one? Wait, I'm very confused. I actually forget. Here we go. Alright. Oh, this is all flopped now. This is made by... Nope, this is made... That was made by a different person. This one, and this hidden one here were all made by the same person. Now, This body that I made, I will admit, yes, really hard to work with. You either make one sort of thing or just it doesn't really work. I think what they've done here doesn't really particularly work in my opinion. GP8, oh my god. Everyone just keeps asking when like the new F1 video. Not for at least a couple of weeks. Maybe longer, I don't know. You guys keep hassling me. I haven't even made a new mod body yet. The music is a little loud. Okay, we can turn that down. That should do good about that. Then you've got... I'm gonna say probably the wrong sort of wheel on here as well. It just doesn't... Something about that wheel is not looking right. Especially in like its incredibly low profile. See, you've also got a medium compound. Good for keeping prices low. No brakes? Okay. No gearbox? Interesting. Sure. I get what happened is they painted the running gear invisible. I'm not sure why. Oh, you know what? For the rear. Yeah, fair enough. Okay. 3-cylinder engine. Turbo. Cast log? Maybe. Probably would have been short cast. Anything beyond the 90s. Not too bad. What do we got for valves per cylinder? 4 valves per cylinder. Not too bad. Very standard looking manifold. I never noticed that like there was an air gap in the models that were exported from automation. That's weird. That's wild. Anyway, I'm guessing this is only front drive and not rear drive, based on the orientation of the engine. And you can see that it's Z-clipping with the 2 tires on the back here. Nice. Then the exhaust? There's dual exhaust? Why? Just symmetry, maybe? Yeah, I think what they're going for there is symmetry. Clipping a little bit into the swing arm suspension, though. Maybe make it a little bit wider next time. Then we got the fuel filler cap right really high on the back there. That's fine. This reminds me of a Polaris slingshot. I don't know if they sell those in Australia. Not very common, no. This is based upon a mod body I made, though. So, yeah. I do love trikes, by the way. Weird choices have been made. Very basic. Once again, not a big fan of those pedals. But sure, why not? Moving on, we have this thing. Weird. This looks like some sort of body design for a vent, but they blocked off the vent. Is that meant to be a fake vent? If so, make it black at least. Looks mostly good. Chrome lipping all the way around the headlights is a bit weird. Very rudimentary shapes here, but at least leading lines match. And it doesn't look overly busy. Does look a little bit busy, but not overly busy, in my opinion. The car design for Hammond. Trike, not this. Okay, yeah. Yeah, kind of. Hammond, not Clarkson, sort of thing. Then in here, decent sort of looking wheels, medium compound, so this is not meant to be an overly powerful vehicle, probably. Looking on the inside here, solid 3-piston. Very weird choice. This probably would have been vented on the front at least, and probably not 3-piston. Then for the engine, east-west front-wheel drive only, not all-wheel drive. 4-cylinder. Engine is 4-valve per cylinder. Short cast turbo. That is a very small exhaust housing compared to the intake housing. Sure, okay. Probably got reliability issues then, but not too bad. Kind of looks like an Audi, the front. A smidge, sure. Okay engine. Short... Sorry, not short. Low RPM intake manifold. Pretty decent. Let's go down to the rear now. They don't dupe their exhaust by the looks of it. We've got double wishbone and then tiny 2-piston solid disc brakes. Now, you could probably get away with solid disc brakes in the rear, sure. But I feel as if this thing is going to have incredibly front bias brakes, which is not going to be great. Suspension is fine. And the rear, a little too blingy for my taste. But I feel that that's just the way in which it's rendered this, and that's not actually meant to be chrome in there. I know it's a bit hard to tell, because I don't actually know what it is they've done. That's weird. What is that? Weird. Anyway. Decent. They did dupe the exhaust. Ha! I knew it. Anywho, moving on from... When you know what, we should check out the interior. I feel as if this thing could do with a bit of a spoiler on the back though. Interior is decent. We've got a sat-nav up there, a touchscreen down here. Looks fairly modern, fairly basic. Automatic transmission. Feels about right. This is not a hatchback. So really what should have been in here is a parcel shelf. Maybe it is a hatchback. I don't know, that's just weird. Got to head off now, Chromatic? Okay, see you later, Chromatic. Got to get something for your dad for Father's Day? Fair enough. I'm going to call him up after this stream. This, very basic rudimentary fixtures on here. That's very flat looking. Don't agree with the use of that there. Just looks completely out of place. And then the leading lines, of which there are almost completely none. The only leading lines that are really here is this. Kind of goes with this, but the wrong way leaning. It's a bit wrong. But at least that works a little bit. Everything else here, there's just no leading lines really at all. Like, this is just completely off as well. Like, I like this body, but it is a little bit tricky to get right. Are you going to head off too, Fanny? Okay, see you later, Fanny. Why are you calling up Chromatic's dad? What? No, I'm going to call my dad. Smart ass. 2000s rice-looking thing. It is very riced out. Sure. I agree with that, yeah. This one is yours, Stefan P. Okay. Headlights don't match the shape and design of anything else as well. Yeah, it's not the easiest body to work with if you don't know what you're doing. But not ugly. Just not good. It's kind of like mid. A 5. As for the wheels, I don't like the amount of offset that happens. Like, these usually, yeah, the wheels themselves stick out from the tires, and I hate that sort of design. Not a whole lot you can do there apart from going into the advanced fixtures though. Sports compound tires, then we have 4-piston vented disc brakes on the front. That's a lot of overkill, but sure, we'll give it a try. This is meant to be all-wheel drive by the looks of it, and then once again, single overhead cam, 4-valve slanter. Nah. That is such a rare occurrence and isn't really great. So I'm going to say no on that one. Also, racing exhaust. Which one is it? This one.
And when everyone's super, no one will be.
Nah, bro. Unless this is meant to be a modified one. If so, then I will give it a simplified film score. Probably not going to do well. Individual throttle bodies? Okay, this has to be riced out. I feel that this is not a factory setup by the looks of it. Coming down to the rear drive as well, independent rear suspension on multi-link with 2-piston vented disc brakes. Then at the back, those taillights do not fit even slightly. Like, not only do they not fit the body lines, they also are, they don't fit the shape which is meant to be there for the taillight. Now, I know that Automation made this, but they didn't actually make a brake light that fits, so you're going to have to actually make it custom. So use patchwork, cut out, put things in there behind that you want, and then fill it in, put in patchwork over top, and make that a glass material. Then a tow bar on this. No. Gonna call an on that one. Roof racks, sure, why not? Looking to the interior. They haven't lined this, but sure, why not? Is that meant to be... I think that's glued aluminium, am I? Yeah. Alright, weird choice, but okay. Front and rear seats could not be much different, even if you tried. Big dash gap, I mean, you can fill that in fairly easily, but... I mean, everything's here, I suppose. Your front seat is too far forward. Or maybe your dash is too far backwards? No, yeah, no, your front seat's wrong. I don't know, there's some weird scuffed stuff happening here. Can't even put my finger on. But yeah, this looks like probably a first or a second attempt sort of car. If so, okay. How would you make it look like a wrapped exhaust? You're talking about putting cloth material on it? I wouldn't. That's way too much effort. I would do it in Blender if I was going to do it. And then put a cloth type material on it. Exhaust and aero kit combined with tow hook and roof racks drive me insane. Yeah, it's just kind of the... I don't know what they were going for here. Kind of reminds me of a Nissan... Yeah! Is that how you spell that? Oh, it is how you spell that. Yeah, it does actually remind me a little bit of this. But at least they have leading lines that match. And there's a uniformity in their design choices. Though this is actually the one. Leading lines match a little bit less, but at least there's proper leading lines. Anywho, let's go in and start testing them out with probably one of the more fleshed out story-wise sort of cars, even if it is very basic. Let's give it a look. They said it's British, right? Where are we? Oh dear. Where is it? It's not here. Oh, there it is. Now it's showing up. Is that me, or was that not there a moment ago? It might have been an export error with the exhaust looked like it was wrapped. Oh, no, that is an export error. I think he tried to do a heat wrap. No. This, that exhaust thing you saw, that's just an export glitch. So what you're seeing here is actually weld lines. That automation sometimes stuffs that up and puts that on as like the main material for the exhaust. It's an issue. Pretty sure it's known, but I don't know if they know or not. Yeah, so this car... Jimmy, they don't say what map to put it on. What year is it? 1993? What map should we take this to? I'm thinking it's just the automation test track, because I just want to run it through its paces. You know what? No. We'll take it to the German test track, since that's the closest to England that we have. Which is the... What's it called? I can't even find it now. I'm blind. Oh, here we go. ETK Driver Experience Center, USA. That's the map. Closest thing to England we'll have. You could try exporting your car 1,000 times until it shows up like that if you want it to. Okay. Nice sound. Sounds very British. And its drivability is quite nice. Yeah, for an automatic, that feels pretty decent. And then water. I wonder if we can drift on water a little bit easier with this thing. Nope. Turn right, please. There we go. And, you know, the turn-in is fairly nice. The power oversteer is a little bit... Is it too peaky? Is that what it is? I don't know. Engine feels a little bit odd. Could it be wider tires, maybe? I don't know. Might need wider tires. You know what I like about this thing? Is it looks exactly nothing like any sort of automation body. They've done a really nice job. This thing gets into massive tank slapper issues. That is a problem. Now, I know I'm flooring it a lot, but if you're getting a sports car, you have to, sorry, if you're making sports cars, you have to know that a lot of idiots are going to be driving your cars. And if you don't want to end up with a Mustang out of Cars and Coffee sort of reputation sort of thing, that's the sort of thing that you would tune out. But it is super fun. Let's take it to the other part of the ETK track. Where is that? I can't even remember where it is. I really don't use this map enough. It feels soft, but also quite nice. Very 90s. I feel it could have had a little bit more body roll, so maybe slightly softer sway bars would benefit this thing a lot. Can you go into the water here? No. Oh, there's the other part of the track. Oh, it's the other way. I'm going the wrong way. Alright, let's go do that. Let's see how brakes are. Good brakes! Wow, they pulled up super quick. Wait, are these things solid? Nope, they're not. I wish beamng devs would come up with some sort of way of instancing, collision mesh but movable things in the main, like in maps. I know it would hurt performance a little bit, but they need something. Now, bringing it onto this track, we're going to give it a little bit of a dart down. Oh, no, wrong way already. Feels like the brakes are a little bit front biased, but for a road car, that is acceptable. As you can see there, though, we're not getting like oversteer or understeer. Just a little bit of like unwillingness to turn under brakes, which is quite good for a road car. Okay, well, I'm going to rewind that. Pretend that never happened. The turn in for like low to almost mid-speed corners feels quite nice. Little bit oversteery, so very TVR-esque. And then start to get into understeer at least a little bit. Yeah, its high speed doesn't feel great, but for a road car, most of the time you're not going to be doing that. And just that little hint of understeer to let you know that you're pushing this car a little bit too hard without going like full understeer. Any car that doesn't kill is good, lol. That's what a lot of car companies feel. As long as it sells. You know what, actually? They probably wouldn't care if it kills, if it sells. Because Tesla's doing that. Their car kills a lot of people with their self-driving that sucks ass. But they keep selling it. And don't give out better warnings or anything like that. Or do a better job of making sure that people aren't misusing it. Or just not making it available until it's a lot better refined. And they've killed a lot of their drivers. And do they care? No. They just make money. A recall? What are you, crazy? Yeah. Weird choices have been made by companies over the years. Things like recalls. In automation, you actually have the choice. If you get a recall when you don't want a recall, you could just ignore the recall and take the chances of taking a hit to your reputation. Which is very much a car thing to do. Even the automation devs know the car companies suck. But sometimes you just need to suck a little bit as a car company if you're failing. Hey, we're Vixen, welcome. A little bit late, yes. Trying to fully Blender and J-beam edit a car together is a lot of work. It can be. Once you get used to it, I actually find it becomes fun. Let's try a little bit more high-speed cornering now. Is there anything like that here? I don't really think there is. You know what? We'll probably take this wet corner the other way around, maybe. And that could be our higher speed. Capitalism 101? Yeah, basically. But if you get a dictatorship, which is all about keeping yourself rich as the infallible leader, not great on high speed, to be honest. But not terrible. Let's now take it. We're just going to zip over there, because I can't be bothered to drive this around. Here we go. That's the wrong button. There we go. As a first time, it's grueling task. Yes, it really is. Is that a box of 4 in a Ferrari Sports Coupe? No, it's a V8 with overhead valves, I believe. Nope, this is pushrod. It was the manifold which I kind of disagreed with. Yeah. The intake, that is. You know what? Not so bad. If it's British, I feel as if it probably shouldn't have been pushrod, though. I could have understood overhead valve with 2 valves per cylinder, or going 4 valve, which would have not been really much of a 90s sort of thing. This is actually doing pretty well. 134 is where it starts to limit out. Not bad. Back we had campfire. Okay, cool. Welcome back. You get a sense of accomplishment when you finally get your car just how you imagined it. A nice dopamine hit? Yeah, I agree. That like, oh, this looks so good right now. I've got a modified, much better version of the 312 visually that I made a while ago. And I've been meaning to make that one public. That one is much, damn it, better than, yeah. Much better than... My brain is not working. Oh yeah, much better than the one that I made public. Lots of cool things. Same with the BT46B. Okay. I like the car. Let's go ahead and give it a fill score. You know what, actually, first what I'm going to do is I'm going to look up what the Rover V8 looks like. Is that overhead cam? I think that's overhead cam. I don't think that's pushrod. I feel like that's the sort of engine they were going for. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's overhead cam. So I'm not a big fan of their choice of heads. Or really their intake manifold, because what sort of manifold do they have here? Yeah, that is a compact manifold on that one. That's a race variant. That's compact. That's compact. I don't know what I'm looking at there. That's a race manifold, if it'll load anytime soon, yeah. Compact. Yeah. Not quite right, in my opinion. Stream scoring. Drift? A little bit. For a brief moment, I could hear the Eurobeat in my head. Nice. Is a 3-piece wing too advanced for 19... no. Because I just did a video on the MP4/4, and they had a triple element wing. Or a 3-element wing. You think it's a Ford V8? Then the intake manifold is wrong. Because I feel as if that intake manifold is just not very Ford. With a Ford 5-liter pushrod V8. Okay. Ford 5.0. Yeah. That is not the right sort of manifold. Let's go 1990 5.0. Oh. Okay. Interesting, I didn't know that. Give me a moment, I'm going to go to the toilet. And back again, give me a second. Getting attention from Pippa right now, which is my new dog. Sorry for the amount of order, I forgot to look at the planum. Is this actually an option in automation? I don't know. Also, I'm surprised that you went with a Ford V8 when Rover was there. It feels as if Rover probably would have been a better choice. Ford made costume when? Probably never. You know what? I'll give it to you right now. This is the goal. If we get... How much are made costumes? Let's have a quick look. eBay. $30 or so, $40. There we go, like $31. I'd probably have to get it custom made, to be honest, because I don't think any of these are going to be quite big enough. So, if I'm going to get it tailored, we're probably looking at a few $100s. So if we get 4 top-tier channel memberships, then in this stream, then I will do it. This stream, though. It has to be this stream 4. Can you make side draft in automation? Pippa, no. Stop licking your scar. Stop it. Good girl. Pippa's going through a phase now where her surgery scar is agitated and she's looking at it. I don't think side draft is an option for anything other than inlines. Wait, what is side draft? Let me have a quick look. Yeah, I think that's only available for inline engines. Amazon? I doubt you're going to get it in my size. I am very big. Oh no, what? Side drafts? Oh dear. Anyway, moving on. I do like this car. It just feels nice. Not overdone. You just created a car that you liked, and I think it's done a pretty good job. Styling. You know what? It's not a huge looker. Most people are going to sense it as a sports car, but probably actually think it's not a particularly great one by modern standards. but that'll come mostly under the cool factor. I think for now, we'll give it somewhere like a 6. It's not ugly, it's just not special looking. It looks moderate and mild, which is not what most people want out of modern sports cars. Acceleration. It felt decent, but a little too wheel spinny in if you're not accelerating in a straight line. So go like a 7 on that one, maybe. Handling. It felt good, but not great, so we'll go a 7 on that one. Fun factor. We'll go a 10 on that one. That one is very fun as a car. Cool factor. Like a 6 again. Oops. A lot of people are going to think like, oh, British, oh, good, so it'll work for a little while, then break. Even if it does have an American engine in it. You'd have to be like, but no, it has an American V8. You know, from that time period when Ford was making really underpowered engines. Yeah, that's the engine they got for it. Like, oh, jeez. Like I believe there were German V8s at the time, right? They could have used that. Trackability. Feels as if this thing ain't fully trackable, so we'll go an 8 on that one. Features. Probably not going to be great. What is the price of this? $50,000? Oh. A decent head unit. I feel this is a little bit late 90s and not early 90s, though. What would be like 1993 Nissan interior. Yeah, a lot of the times they were still just normal head units. This feels like something from the 2000s. Like, radios were literally the sort of thing that you would pull out, which is why they shifted to this sort of design, because in the 90s and the early 2000s there was a whole spate of people stealing people's radios, so this became the standard. Feels cult classy, classic-y. Yeah, you know what, I agree with that. I want to see a Ford GT Mark II. Then go to a museum, maybe? I don't know. There's probably a museum that has it. That'll come out of your accuracy, though. Features... It's a radio and a CD player. I don't know if these things... Is CD player common from this time period? Yeah, no, that's a cassette player. A lot of people have put in CD players. Let's go... TVR. TVR is probably not a good example, but let's have a look. Cassette player. That doesn't even look like it has any sort of input. That's an aftermarket. Really low resolution. Aftermarket. That looks aftermarket, but it also could be standard. It's a bit hard to tell. So I probably won't hurt you on realism score with that. It's just that CD players were very rare, and usually only for top tier sort of cars. Score for features. 2. Comfort. It looked fairly comfy. What are the seats like? Yeah, they're okay seats. Let's go 7 on that one. No, we'll go at 8 on that. Quality. British. So not great. But an American V8, so okay. Let's go like a 6 on that one, because at least it'll feel good. Until it starts to break to bits. In automation. Ah, okay. That would be quite tricky. You'd have to make a mod. So, start learning Blender if you don't know how to use it, I suppose. Practicality. I mean, the chances of me making one is actually pretty high, but I have no plans at all to make one in any time soon. I mean, the Rover V8 was an American V8 that they found in a bin. Yeah, but they also, like, heavily changed it a lot to be their own sort of thing, as far as I'm aware. Practicality? By change a lot, I mean that they made it less reliable. It's not practical. Parking these things anywhere where you're afraid it'll get stolen, it'll probably get stolen, because convertibles are not that great. Moderate boot space, but you've got a convertible, so it's not going to be very good at fitting, and there's no rear seats. So, 2 value. Oh, you know what? Actually, a 1 because it has less than the amount of seats in practicality. $50,000. It's a lot of money for a car that's probably not going to have great resale for quite a while. So let's go 5 on that because you're not getting like a massively well done car that sort of time period. Ongoing costs. Ongoing costs. It's an American V8, so apart from oil usage, not a whole lot. Fuel usage is not going to be great either. They're not the worst. Repairs are going to be okay for that, but like any sort of interior part that breaks, which will most likely happen, not going to be great either. Did they say what sort of company they are? Handcrafted. Oh, so it's a handmade car. Small scale production. Gone into receivership. Oh no. Don't. Good girl. I see you, Pippa. I see what you're doing. Anyway, so, like... 4. The only thing that'll be good is the cheap parts. Is it independent rear suspension? Yeah, that is probably not from the Ford Mustang, I'm guessing. So, yeah, ongoing costs are not going to be great. J-beam editing. Also, with the, like, going into receivership. That's not good, bro. That's really bad. J-beam editing, they said that they did a little bit to fix collision meshes and stuff, so we'll give them like a 1 on that. Basic stuff, but at least good, you've done it. You deserve the extra point. Would I buy this car? Yes, totally. I mean, it's a British coupe. How could I not? Love these things. The je ne sais quoi factor. We're going to go 8 on that. It's pretty high, but not full high. Feel it's just not quite right. As for realism and commonality... Did TVR ever use American V8s? I just feel as if using like a non-Rover engine for a small company like this would be very unrealistic. Especially, like, if you were to use a Ford engine, it'd be a Ford engine that was used in England. Otherwise, they would go to Ford of England, hey, do you get these engines? And they'd be like, no. What? We're not the same sort of company. Like, we're under the same banner, but we're very different companies. So what they would do is they would try to source one locally that they wouldn't have to ship in. Now, I know that the price of it would probably be a little bit less than a Rover, but for any sort of, like, support that you would need as a small company, you'd probably be able to make out a much better deal with a local company like Rover. As also for the wrong intake manifold. What sort of tires we got on here? Sports compound? I feel that's not really a 90s thing either. So... 6... Stop it. No. 7. We'll go with 7. And a score of 96, that's actually really high for a not modern car. Well done. Very approving of that. Next car is... the Eagle Power Wagon. I'm very not looking forward to driving this thing. It looks ugly in my opinion. But then again, that's just my opinion. Here we go. Okay. Eagle Power Wagon by Crispy Sharman. I'm pretty sure Crispy Sharman knows how to make better cars than this. Sorry, the American answer to the 3-row seat wagon powered by a powerful NAV8 making a whopping 490 horsepower and that much Newton meters all to the rear wheels, making it a burnout monster. And making 17... That's very heavy, boat... Accelerate to 100 in 4.6 seconds, destroying the quarter mile in 12.6. That's actually a decent time. But the best thing is extreme top end of 212, making it a... And $38,000. I'm going to give this thing like a simplified fill score of like 2. How was the stream? I think maybe it's not the greatest time to stream, to be honest. Let's take this to an American track to test it on. Oh, you know what? It's not really probably much of a track car. Where do we take it? Let's just start in the industrial area, the basic area. So, my issues here. 1, the engine is slightly wrong with its overhead cam, I believe it had. The weight is okay. The acceleration is fine. Quarter mile is quite low. Top speed is way too high. By like 20 miles per hour, maybe 30. But at least 12, 13 kilometers miles per hour, too fast. Did they say 7-seater? Oops, wrong one. I thought American and my mouse just went over to the other American car. Welcome, Kwai Havoc. How's it going? Is this... No, different person. Crashed one time? What? Just saying hello before I inevitably head off. Hey, welcome, Cascade Freak. How's it going? Yeah, it does have. Here is the problem with the final row, though. It doesn't look like you've got fold-down seats. So, you're going to struggle to get people into the back. And if it's meant to be access it from the rear, there's just not really any room to access it from the rear. You'd have to have roll-forward seats, and your center console is in the way. So you've got inaccessible rear seats. Not a good score. I do like your gusto, though, on trying something new. Braking feels fine. It's very wallowy. Very, very wallowy. Brakes are okay. Parkour? To get in? Yeah, you really would need to. You know what, actually, let's go down to the industrial area. How do I get there? Can't go that way to get to industrial area. Brakes are feeling really unbalanced. Yeah, that's taking a really long time to brake. Alright, this is how we get into the industrial area. Is that a... What sort of transmission is this? Exported engine... Transmission. Is it... I can't tell what sort of transmission this is. Automatic. But it's changing way too quick to be an automatic. That's not an automatic shift. Wait. It's a sequential, isn't it? Okay, yeah, no. This thing is not getting a full fill score. It's getting a simplified fill score. Way too many mistakes. Wait, what the hell? What job is this? Could we... I just need to get over there, please. Come on, turning circle, don't fail me now. Oh, you are in! Come on! There we go. Brakes suck in this thing. What is this? Play the bus mode on this route. Then why is it starting on a tram track? What the hell? Oops. Bash the wheel. Curbs here are really harsh on automation cars. Ah. Oh, this thing does not handle well. Alright. I'm just gonna give this a simplified fill score. 2 out of 10. Next car. Ah, you know what? Depending actually what they say about this car, we might take it to a different place, but I think it could do here. Here we go. Okay. Prototype race car, model built in 2010. That actually fits right into my thing. 900cc, 2-valve engine, making 98 horsepower. Not bad. Maybe the tires maybe are a bit wide. Steel space frame chassis with a fiberglass body. Weighs around 530, loosely based on the Steyr Puck. I'm assuming that's meant to be pronounced Puck. Really? This? I thought it was going to be a race car. Anywho, the rest of it. Really unsure how much it would cost. Well, let's have a look. What country is this? Air-cooled? Lifted by 4 strong people. Austrian. Okay, we're in Germany again. Oh, we're in close to Germany, I mean. Let's take this one... I mean, either Spa... or... the other German big ring place. Nürburgring. I think we'll take it to Spa. It says V2 engine, a V-twin. Yeah, is a V-twin not a V2 engine? Yeah. Don't actually exactly know what a V-twin is compared to a V2. You're only searching the company name, not the model. Oh, there's an extra bit there. I didn't pick up on that. Ah, okay. Weird. That's a very small picture. That is a very weird car. That's very small. Cool, but very small. Let's give it a try. I feel as if Spa would be a nice place to test this on. I have a bad feeling for my winter car. If it is a game that comes out. What? Oh, is that my summer car except my winter car? Oh, no. You know what? We might play that one. Oh, no. These tires are way too thick. It's a bit hard to tell what sort of width they have on the rear. Because nobody has a good fucking picture of this. What the fuck? There we go. There's a different version of it. That's very narrow tires. That's okay, but much narrower than what we got here. If you can't do a burnout in your car, your tires are too thick, to be honest. This thing has way too much grip. What the hell? Did they modify the tires? It feels weird. I like the sound of the engine, though. Way too darty. Oh my goodness. Ah! Okay, with the steering wheel, this thing would be a lot easier to control. Why did you not take it to the Red Bull ring? Because I don't have it. Gotta grab something to eat before everything closes. I'll try to come back later if you're still streaming. I should be streaming for a few hours more, probably. It's a bit vague on how long my streams last, to be honest. I go until I run out. And cut across, or... It's very touchy on the front end. Okay. I think it was about to flip just then. Let's go. Front tire pressure a little bit higher. Red Bull Ring has AI and everything? Okay. I am also getting into doing AI stuff for my racetracks. Not as easy as one might think, though. Because documentation is sparse and not great. It's a little bit easier to control now on controller. Still, yeah, not great. We don't have any aero adjustment either. Let's go... a little less camber. This is probably going to stuff up something else because that never works right. I'll give it a try. Front toe adjust. Going to go a little bit of toe in as well. Just a smidge. Mercedes 1999 Lamar? That would be cool. If somebody submits that car, like a really faithful one of that, I will be really happy. He won't get a full fill score, he'll just get a simplified one because it's a race car, but still. This music is really loud. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Much, much better now. Okay, let's try this again. Ah! No, way too touchy. If I was using a steering wheel, this would probably be great. I think we're even getting wheel chatter. That takes off. That would be possible in old automation, yes. There we go. You can control it a little bit. It's really hard to drive with the controller because the thing is a little too front grippy. I don't know. Words are a little bit hard to say. Missed 13 minutes? Oh, how dare you. Alright, what's the braking distance? I'm going to brake quite late. Alright, not too bad. beamng needs to get much better at controlling manual gearboxes. I will try to do something on that, because I know you can change certain things. I might be able to change vehicle electrics to read... whatchamacallit? Airspeed instead of... vehicle speed. I know, it's a little bit hard to tell, really. I don't know. It would take a lot of research. You know what, I might have been able to take Poo on at full speed, to be honest. Ah! For 90-something horsepower, this thing goes really high in its speed range. For having what looks to be a lot of aero, I feel as if this thing should probably top out at like 200 kilometers an hour. Maybe 250 if it's got low aero. But this thing feels like it's got a lot of aero on it. Needs more rear aero. Or less front aero, maybe. It's also so incredibly light. I wonder what modifications they've done here. At least in Beam it's... At least Beam is better at it than Wreckfest. Better than what? Better at doing what than Wreckfest? Damage? Or you mean being realistic at driving? What are we talking about? I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. I do plan to get into Wreckfest at some point. .5 out of 10. It is a really cool vehicle. You've done some really cool stuff. I love the J-beaming. Like the engine and everything. Which almost sounds exactly right. And the body design is so good. Except I feel that this would angle in a little bit and not be straight vertical. Hold on, do we have pitches? Yeah, they only have a rear hoop. And even that one does tilt in a little bit. But the handling just doesn't feel good on controller, and that's what I'm driving on. This thing is not fun to drive right now. Oh, the transmission is shifting? Oh, is Wreckfest bad at handling transmissions, is it? Ah. Welcome, Swagbucks. Hi, Phil. Hope you're having a good day. Yeah, doing pretty well. It's 12:30 in the middle of the day. Not bad. Anto 100k, welcome to the stream. Driving? Yes, I am. I love not having good sleep schedule. Mine is atrocious as well. I think I'm currently waking up somewhere around like 2 or 3 a.m. Yeah. 6.5, maybe 6.8. It looks so good, and the story behind it is so good. There's just a few little issues I have. One of which I'd love you to go into Blender and move this axle forwards if you know how to do that. And then maybe clean this up in Blender as well, so then you don't have to have the patchwork over it. And then tilt these inwards, so then they're not straight vertical. That is really, like, the only visual thing that I don't like is the fact that that doesn't tilt in. Now, there may be some cars out there that don't have it tilted in, and I believe I have seen them, and I don't like it. It looks like it's tacked on as an afterthought, and where the rest of the body looks really stylized and really nice, it looks like a blight. Wreckfest is also very arcadey. It is, I know, but I think knowing that it's arcadey, I think makes it okay. At least a little bit. I'm not a big fan of arcades, though. Alright. We have the Magi Hornet GT. Very American-esque sort of vehicle. Here we go. Apparently a lot of effort was put into the story. TLDR, bro. What sort of country? Doesn't say. 400 horsepower. This thing is going to be atrocious. Let's take it to... Which American map? We could take it to Utah, but Utah's not really a good map, to be honest. Let's just take it to Automation Test Track. It's just such a good place just to get, like, the feel of the vehicle very quickly. NFS. Heat short story? What? Need for Speed, Heat, short story. I'm confused. I'm dyslexic, by the way. Don't give me long slabs of text. They've got a def locker option. I doubt that... Yeah. Oops, wasn't paying attention. Brakes. Oh boy. Probably should have drum brakes on the rear, right? Yeah, that's what it looks like. Okay. Let's try that again. Brakes are a little overpowered, if I'm going to be honest. Thing probably should not be able to pull up at all if it's meant to be realistic. One wheel peel. It's about right. Also, is the roof not meant to be like a vinyl roof if it's off color like this? To lift to get it turned in. That's about right. Also, what year is this car? 1972 to 1978? Ah! No. That's right in fuel crisis time. This thing would have like 90 horsepower. But then like a bazillion torque. There's a little bit of driving in the car's under... What? Well, you've deleted it, so I don't know what you said. Something about driving in the undercarriage? I think I know why you didn't say... why you redacted it now. I like the fact that YouTube uses the word redacted. I feel it's just such a cool term. Nope, I've redacted that. Feels pretty decent. There is a little driving in the car's understeer. What? You mean there's a little finesse to be used in the understeer of the car? It's not the worst car. But I'm not going to give it a full fill score. You've gone for fuel crisis car, period. And then given it way too much power. Turn, you fat lard! Turn! Oh my god, this thing doesn't like to turn. I don't know. It feels... You know what it is? They've got the suspension set up wrong. This thing should have so much goddamn body roll. Yeah, it doesn't have the body roll. And it's way too tall. I don't want to give you a full fill score. And I don't even actually want to give you a simplified fill score. Because I feel as if this car is like a first revision you didn't realize what you've done wrong. Unless there's something in the story, which I'm unfortunately not going to read. Your suspension is too high. Not enough body roll. This thing should be set to comfort. The horsepower should be so much lower than this. And maybe a bench seat? Seats are also wrong. Aside from that, it's pretty good. It looks nice, except too tall. Tires look nice. Wheels look good. Good choices. 7.5 out of 10? You're like on the right path, but there's a few things to change. Is the engine correct? Yeah, all except the headers? Yeah. But what if, like, long slabs of text, they are very nice for saying any amount of thing in a very long and useless way that takes you too long to read. I hate you. I only just figured out what you were saying until it started to make no sense. I hate you. Cool car. I'd love it to be a little bit more understeery. Have the aspect ratio of the rear tire be a little bit taller, even if that means you need to go like a different tire size. It looks really nice though. Apart from the height, it looks rather nice. Probably also leaf spring suspension. Let's have a look at the next car, which is... this little thing. We are really going through the cars today. I'm just dissatisfied, apparently. YouTube won't let me say anything longer than that for some unknown reason. Oh dear. Is it like Twitter rules? Where there's like a character limit? Which Epic Demand is saying? Okay, the Mercia, which is a British area. Poria 4. Let's have a look. By the way, resubmit your muscle car, by the way. Like, please do. It just... unrefined. Here we go. How does this one have less scores than, like, this one? It's one vote only. This one is their best looking one, at least so far. Small sports car, 2014... 1.8 litre, i4, 7 seconds to 100, which is actually quite nice. Horsepower, 180 horsepower, Newton meters. Price, $9,000? Nah. You should have adjusted that from Automation's default. Because these are like low production run sorts of cars. These don't sell well, which means you need to sell them for a higher price. And this thing probably should cost somewhere around like $30,000 at least. Even if it is gutless and very small, just like the production cost going into it. Oh wow, they got a steering wheel. Nice. I feel the suspension is a little bit wallowy. If people could write their autobiography in chat. Oh dear. How about after this, just ask people for some more cars on the Discord if you're going real fast? Nah. I don't actually feel that well. The dust in here is making me actually feel really shit. So, when the stream is over, I'm just gonna, like, aerate this room. Like, a lot. Which means bringing a fan in or something like that and getting some air flowing around. I could run the air conditioner, but I don't want to make the rest of the house, like, super duper freezing cold. Which it is a central ducted system. So it's one fan controls everything. Welcome, the only ad CW? Adequa? I don't know. It actually handles quite nicely, this car. I do appreciate that they've given it a steering wheel. I feel that this thing could get away with being front-wheel drive as well, with how low-powered it is. It feels nice, except for the fact it is, like, a little bit wallowy. What is the weight of this thing as well? The weight is a ton. That's actually a lot of weight. I suppose that's how they got it to be really cheap. Interesting. If they were going this cheap, it probably wouldn't have even had capacitive touchscreen. You know what? Actually, it might have. It probably would have been cheaper to get an iPad and just stick it in there than make your own center console area. So I could see that being a thing. The i3 Turbo, though, you'd have to get from a different company to have it at this sort of price. When YouTube needs to remove the character limit, wait, then YouTube needs to. It's interfering with my long lines of text that I use to make things hard for everyone to read. Yeah. I might just stop reading what you're saying, Ringo. Don't become like the boy who cried wolf sort of thing. Oh dear. That cut off of power. When your 200 character message doesn't send for no reason. You're done now? Thank you. Stop torturing me. You know what? This just feels nice to drive. It's just satisfying. It's just, there's a lot about it that doesn't feel right, including the suspension being really, really soft. I feel this being this sort of car, probably, wow, this thing has a lot of camber on the front. That is not good for your ongoing cost. This thing is going to chew up tires bad. Let's go ahead and give it a feel score, though. Styling. Most of it I like. The back is a little bit underdeveloped. And the front is, like, wrong fixture there, I feel. And this is totally wrong for the front grille. No side indicator. That'll come out of your realism score. Styling. 6. Acceleration. 6. Handling. 8. 7. Like, it feels nice and zippy, all that sort of stuff. But, like, it's not really... It's more satisfying than fun, I think. Banana? What? Why it look like R? What are you talking about? It needs a sausage grill? I mean, that would fit a lot better, yes. Cool factor. I think this thing is pretty cool. We'll give that... It's not a looker. 7 out of 10. Trackability? I feel it's very trackable. Though not high power, so we'll go like a 9 on that one. Front vril? I don't know what that is. Features for this sort of car, if it's super cheap, it probably has none. This is completely unrealistic that they've got this in here at all. So, features. It looks like it's got a lot. Even got buttons on the steering wheel. Probably a lot of blanked out buttons and not actually doing anything. So let's go like a 6 on that one. Comfort. You are incredibly cramped in here. Look how forward the seats are underneath the steering wheel. And then, yeah, your firewall. Way too cramped. And the seats are not looking comfortable either. At least the suspension was soft. So we'll give you like a 3. Quality. You'd have to be like a munchkin to drive that vehicle. I'm guessing this is not a high production run vehicle. I don't know, they gave such low information. I'm gonna guess it's British, because it's Mercia. So quality is like a... And with a cheap price, 2 out of 10. Probably mostly plastic everywhere. Practicality? Considering that you can only fit somebody in the passenger area, and you probably wouldn't be able to drive it unless you were, Is a little person the right term? I don't know. I know that midget isn't. Vertically challenged? I don't know. That sounds like you're taking the mickey. 1? But then again, you need a driver to go in there, so it's going to be a non-practicality. Value? You're getting a lot, so 10 on value. Ongoing costs? British, so probably like a 3 out of 10. Like, good on fuel, but, like, anytime that anything breaks, which is common, not going to be great. Send button to close backspace. What? I think you're having too many drugs. J-Beam editing. We got a steering wheel on that. We'll at least give it a 3. Would I buy this car? Yeah, probably. Oops, not 66. Je ne sais quoi. Oh, you know what? Actually, I wouldn't be able to fit in it. So, like, a 2. Depends whether I could modify somehow to be able to get myself to fit. Je ne sais quoi? Because I'm guessing there's probably a lot of aftermarket to make people fit. No, I feel it's all represented. Realism and commonality. Not able to fit. Design is kind of weird. But your engine choice is okay. No. Your engine choice is not okay. Then, yeah, a score of 72. Could be better. Let's go ahead and go to the next car. My throat hurts so much right now, and so does the back of my nose from all the dust in this room right now. This is from the same person. Hopefully this one does a little bit better. This one looks also incredibly like an MGB. But that's probably mostly the body. Yeah, nice car. Interior, you can fit. You're a little bit cramped on the pedals, but not as bad as what it was. And they probably could have just moved the firewall a little bit further forward anyway, to be honest. I don't know what to say about this. Ah! It won't go forwards now. There's way too much inertia on the engine. And there seems to be some sort of glitch in your... Oh god, this thing sucks. A little bit of a glitch in your coding. It sometimes won't want to go forwards. Which is something I noticed before when I had to move the car around. Oh god. It feels like this thing is too front heavy or too brake front heavy. Yeah, this thing's... It feels like you probably shouldn't be going fast in this car. So that's why I keep misjudging the brakes zones. Tires are way too narrow. Oh, this thing does not handle nicely at all. This is idiotically fast? I mean, off the line, no, not really. Top speed is way too high. Let's try that again. Like, the tires are way too narrow. How are they putting down this much power with these tires? Oh, you know what? It's all-wheel drive. Because it's got a wheel on each... a motor drive shaft going to each wheel. Oh, you know what? We got ESC. Now, that's supercar braking distance. You must have atrocious brake balance for it to fail that hard. What do we got? We got 2 pistons on the rear. And 4 pistons on the front. With a 50-50, basically, brake weight distribution. Your brakes suck. Okay, let's try that again. I'm going to turn ESC just completely off. Yeah, it's not super fast. But it keeps going. Which is not how torque graphs usually go on electric motors. They do have like a, all their power from the beginning, but then they have like an efficiency where like the speed ramping really starts to drop off. And the more initial your power is, without overheating, is, yeah, oh god. Feels unfinished, this car. And it feels like you were just trying to meme it. Because this thing understeers atrociously. Which I'm assuming you had to do to get this much power into this short of a wheelbase. 7 out of 10. It feels unrefined. So YouTube doesn't actually send your message if you don't have any spaces. Really? Interesting. I know smart? What? So we all do it? So how we all... Oh, okay. I'm trying to, like, separate me from the chat, are you? Say, oh, how are we? We're against Phil. Yeah, not great. It's not doing it for me. 1, too much power. 2, probably wouldn't be all-wheel drive. Unless this thing was, like, really expensive. It would have to be, like, $150,000 to get, like, this sort of power into this classic body. Including the classic body itself. Doesn't say. You haven't even given me all the scores. So, 7 out of 10. Looks good. Handles like garbage. Too much power. Could be considered unrealistic. Tires are not wide enough. It'd be better if it was rear-wheel drive. Let's move on. That looks like it's on the Nordschleife. Quantit di Moto MCR Forza. Okay. Here we go. Is a budget sports car that was the result of collaboration between this, which sounds Italian, and MCR, which I don't know. Oh wait, is this meant to be another person? Oh, it's a collaboration between 2 people. Okay. The handling, engine, and vehicle dynamics was by QDM, while the design was done by MCR. Quintino wanted to enter the mass production car world after its successful XGT car? I don't know what that is. Unless they decided to enter into the budget sports car market, as there is little to no competitor in this segment bringing their vehicle dynamics. No. That is so incredibly wrong. There is a lot of sports cars in the cheap range. The problem is there's too many, so a lot of car companies don't want to do it. Even in the mid-price bracket, the competition is incredibly harsh. Really, in mid-muscle car bracket, mid-sports car bracket, you have to basically have the most amount of horsepower, which becomes really expensive, which then makes it, like, really hard for you to make profit on. So that's, like, a no on the realism. What you should have gone for is if you're going from race car, they're really good at making cars by hand, so they would have made a really high-cost car. Car was heavily and rigorously tested in the Nordschleife. Custom thumbnail, vehicle description, okay. Everything is done through automation, tire, aero, etc. Okay, cool. $24,500. This car company is going bankrupt. Ford Modular 2.3. But they don't... The Ford... Oh, front mounted. Sorry, my brain just dyslexic the hell out of this and thought that was Ford Modular. No, front mounted 2.3 boxer 4-cylinder engine. 240 horsepower. Downforce, kilograms. 1 on the front, 70 to 90 on the rear. Okay. Asian Japanese car company. MCR is an Italian car company. Oh dear. That is a very weird mix that I think the only time that's ever really worked was when Fiat stole the MX-5 basically and did a facelift on it. But they also didn't do particularly well, did they? I think everyone just looked at that and went, why wouldn't I just get the cheaper MX-5? It seems like an issue. Copy past the text images. Okay, that would make sense. I need to think more about typing on phone. What? Anyway, you guys are weird in the chat. Alright, let's try this car out. Hopefully, it's a lot more satisfying than what the front is to look at. The rear, actually, I think it looks pretty good. Doesn't match the body lines, but it does look pretty good on the rear. We've got some heavy interference from ESC, but it didn't chug off the accelerator, so I think we're good there. Feels fairly good at higher speeds. Little bit unresponsive when we get into higher speeds, but that's what happens when you have not a whole lot of downforce. It feels rather nice to drive, though. Turn-in is quite good for a road car. Hate the fart sound effects of flat fours. They just don't do it for me. You just hear too many of them around here locally. Now, coming into the first complex after the old start line. The official start line? I don't know what you would call it exactly. Feels fairly good, fairly nice. Low center of gravity from that Boxer 4 is doing quite well. Still gonna hurt them on the realism score there, along with the story as well. If it's a you know what it is? It might be what they've done is taken a Japanese car and then basically rebadged it. Which, hold on, what do we got here? MCR is Italian. Okay, yeah, that is what happened. The design was done by the Italians, and the car was made by the Japanese. Okay, still it would cost a lot more. Actually, you know what, let's have a look. MX-5 price. Fiat 125, is that what it was? Spider? Sport? No. Fiat MX-5, what is the car? 124 Spider. 124 Spider. Price. 26,000 minimum price. 37. What year was this car? 2020. It's now cheaper than the MX-5? Oh, that's US price. Okay. Yeah, because I don't think we get it here in Australia. So let's go 26,000, and we're going to convert that from USD to AUD. There we go. Okay, $38,000, so it is a little bit more expensive. And it being an Italian car coming to Australia, probably add an extra $5,000 to maybe $10,000. This would be about like a somewhere in the $40,000 range car. Because generally there's the Australia tax. The Japanese don't really give us much of an Australia tax. They do a little bit, but everywhere else, especially from Europe, they just charge us more for whatever reason. What's the difference between a Boxer and a flat? Has to do with the connecting, the crankshaft orientation, I believe. I don't think there is a flat 4. I think there is only Boxer 4. McDonald's is back. Welcome back. They did a better job than Fiat just took the... Oh, is there meant to be a comma there? Fiat just took the chassis of the Miata and they put a They put a different engine in it. I didn't know that. I thought they just took the Mazda engine. That's weird. What's the price of this car? $24,500? You know what? That might be about right. That's possible. Let's see how it does on this. This is usually a tricky sort of place. Fairly nice. Trail braking is pretty good without being oversteery. Let's now take ESC off entirely and see how it handles. Whoa! Immediately oversteer. Fiata? the Fiat Fiata? That's actually really funny. I like that. And turn in. You know what? No, that's okay. It's just a little bit like it makes you scared. So I think without ESC, you will be faster. But is it more fun or anything like that? No. Is that middle light of the... I think one of the tail lights doesn't light up. Oh dear. You know what? It's nice. It feels really good to take around. Oops. You know what, actually, yeah, let's try it on sports. This feels really nice about around the Nordschleife. Most cars don't because this track is so tricky to know. It has 2 third taillights. Yeah, I noticed that. The middle one doesn't work though. Like the lower, I should say, third light, I don't think works, which is weird. As always, sports is shittier than comfort. It's weird how comfort works much better than sports. Let's put that back to the comfort. Yeah, comfort is so much better. I think it's because it has sports maybe doesn't have stability control. Your old clickbait faces are crack up. What? Are you saying that I make clickbait faces? I've just always been a very expressive person. When I was really young, though not anymore. Like, I'm not a fan of his after some of the things he said. Jim Carrey. Like, I don't mind him, I don't hate him, he's just a bit of a crackpot now. I loved him growing up, and I wanted to be like Jim Carrey. So what I did was, I practiced being Rubberface. So now I have Rubberface. It's something that you can practice at. I don't know, I actually wasn't doing very much just then. But yeah, I don't know, I can pull a lot of different faces if I have the right motivation for it. And now it's just seeped into my normal way of expressing myself. It might be a nighttime taillight. Well, it's not turning on. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Seems to be always on. I don't get it. This is just a nice car to drive, to be honest. Feels rather good. Doesn't have a good top speed, which is unfortunate. Ah! Oh dear. Oh dear. Well, I think it's time to give this thing a fill score. Actually, first, what is the weight of the car? 1,100 kilos? No, that's too light. Unless they took out all of Creature Comforts and put in race bucket seats, which it looks like they might have done, but even still, getting it that light, A Pagani Zonda got destroyed yesterday. Driver lost control trying to do a burnout on a public road. That seems like a very common thing to happen with supercar drivers. They just don't understand the cars. And they just want to do what they do in other cars, and it just doesn't work. Very Mustang thing to do? Yeah. There's a lot of videos of supercar fails. Like, they're really funny. Ish I could build a good car in automation. Practice. And going back and forth on the same car till you get it better. This car is meant for a daily city car? Really? But it was tested on the Nordschleife. And on the Nordschleife, it feels really nice. If you think about it, this car is classier GR86. Not at that price range, this thing is probably actually really, really not great quality. Because it's cheap and, yeah. It's lighter than the GR86, I believe. Hold on, what is the... GR86? Wait. God damn it with these stupid numbers. 1,200 kilos, yeah. They're over 100 kilos lighter. That's... Like, losing 100 kilos from a car is no small feat. Alright. Styling. I don't like the front. Side looks okay. I don't like this vent choice or vent placement. Like the door handle. Rear looks quite good. Once again, as I said, though, it doesn't really fit the body lines. As you can see here, this body line feels like it wants to go up. I don't know. But yeah, it also doesn't match the boat line particularly well, I don't think. The rear diffuser looks rather nice. But the lights do look nice, though. It's the front that looks just not right, in my opinion. Only big feet weight that much? Anywho, styling. I give you like a 6. It's very torn. You know what? I do like the rear a lot. We will give it more. Fuel cap goes through the top of the wheel arch, which seems like a bad choice. Nah, I mean, they could do that. Like, immediately comes in, then back that way. Probably you're right. It should be in a slightly different place. Let's see where it is on the GR86. Wrong side. Is this the car's good side? Where's the other pictures? I can't see it there. There we go. You're right, this one is actually behind the wheel. Okay. Interesting. I'm going to go out on a limb and I say I think I like the funky look of the GR86 over the, and the FD86 over the BRZ. Acceleration. Moderate. Give it like... Wait, what was... Did they actually have it listed here? No. 7, I suppose. It felt okay. Bit gutless, but not a slow car. Especially in the top speeds, it really did start to peter off a lot, which is good for a... All the issues. Sorry, just putting my feet in the wrong place. Handling for this car. 10? Like, it's really good. Fun factor? 10? Not really much of a slide out sideways sort of car, but it still does feel really good. Welcome UDP Booster. I have made it to a fill stream. Nice. Anto 100k. Happy Feet is the best movie. If you say so, I mean, I like it. When I say it's best, I don't know about that. Chat is kind of random today. Let's keep it that way. Okay, maybe not. Feel like you have 2 brain cells after reading chat? Yeah, I can understand that. Welcome, Automotive Alt. How's it going? Unison Z fuel cap is huge. Let's have a look. Once again, nobody likes to take pictures of the other side of the car. God damn it. Here we go. How big is the car? I don't know. It feels as if that's a bit deceiving. But you are right. That does look pretty big. Is there a picture with it open? No, that's for a different car, I think. Doesn't look like anybody's got pictures of it, which is disappointing. That looks good. Very inefficient. Not a very good race car, but it looks really good. It probably generates way too much drag. Scoring. Cool factor. The BRZs and the FD86s here in Australia aren't really cool. Unless you're really into cars. Like, they're cool. But they're not, like, really cool. You're not gonna, like, to most people, if you plop one of those cars next to a Mustang, they're gonna think that the Mustang is cooler. So we're gonna go, like, a 6 out of 10 on that one, even if the thing does handle better than pretty much anything else out there. Like, it's just not cool, quote-unquote. Trackability. You know what? Actually, how much are those cars nowadays? After, like, the bubble has sort of collapsed a little bit on sports cars. BRZ is the more expensive one, but we'll give it a look. Let's go with cheapest. Starts at $20,000. Yikes. Toyota 86 now. starts at $14,000. Probably not broken. Probably not running. It drives good, not need much for roadworthy. So yeah, it's not roadworthy technically currently. So yeah, I would almost consider that being like a car that I might be able to afford in the future. The new Z is a small car. I've seen it in person, smaller than you think. Really? Because it feels like the previous 350 and 370s and the 300ZXs were huge cars. You heading off again, Border Tame? Okay, see you later. It was nice to have you here. I got a GT86 very cheap here in the US from $9K. Okay, decent. After conversion rates, that would be like $14,000, so not actually a whole lot different. Trackability, 10, just straight up. This thing handles so nicely. Features, for such a low price, $24,000, probably got nothing more than just like surface stuff. So it's probably got like, yeah, all the touchscreen, but like no seat stuff, no electric seats, no radar guided cruise control. Airbags will be minimalistic. So we'll go with features being like 6. Nothing special, but better than a kick in the dick. Comfort. It didn't look that comfortable, to be honest, and those seats are so incredibly thin, and it being so light, it's probably also very noisy on with the road noise in real life. And what sort of tires we got? That's a sports compound. They're a little bit louder, so it's really not the most comfortable car. Does this have, it doesn't have rear seats. Does the Toyota 86... Interior. Do they have rear seats? They do. Even if they're not really usable, they do have them. I keep pressing Alt-Tab when I mean to just move to a different tab. Comfort, 5. Quality. Japanese could be good. If there's any sort of like tinkering other than design, it's probably not going to be great, but it's Japanese, so it's probably going to be fairly good. But being so cheap, the plastics probably don't feel great. It's probably just a cheap experience inside the car. Let's go like a 6 on that one. It gets the benefit of the doubt because it is a Japanese engine. Even if it is a boxer engine. Practicality? 3. It's got a fairly large back seat. Not great for parking though, and no rear seats. Value? Pretty decent value. We'll go like a 7 on that one. Resales will hold on that one for a while. Ongoing costs. Japanese, not so bad. We'll go like 8 on that one. Yeah, it's not like a cheap econo sort of car. Hey Phil, have you seen how much Ford Escorts have gone up in price? Those ones are getting very rare though, and they were not treated nice, so I can understand why those ones have become worth more. JBeam editing. I don't believe there was any, right? Custom thumbnail, vehicle description. Okay. Basic stuff, though. We'll give that a 1 out of 10. Nice little touch. Would I buy this car? Yes, but it probably wouldn't be in my price range, so let's go like a 9 out of 10. Je ne sais quoi factor. The fact that you've got an automation car to handle this well will give you a 5. I feel that there's just a little bit of score there that's not really done. Realism and commonality. 3 out of 10. I think is a fairly good score. And 103 score. That is actually really, really good. There's very few cars that have gotten scores that high. You know what, actually, if it's based on the BRZ, we'll give it a 7 out of 10 for 107 score, which is actually probably close to the highest score ever given. I hope you enjoy that score. Let's have a look at the next one. Ah, this one. Meant to be a little eco car. Scroll down. I really wanted to try out this car, by the way, because I love these bodies. As long as everyone doesn't submit that car, by the way. 100 plus is really good? Yeah. I think I can count on one hand the amount of cars that have over 100. Horsepower, 80. Yeah. That's a lot for a 3-wheeled car. Quarter mile, 16 seconds. That feels alright. Weight, 500 kilos. Not bad. $19,000? That is not a cheap car. Did you try to get it like super light and realize that it wasn't realistic? $19,000 is way too much for a trike. Unless it's like a sports trike. Oh, this thing is gutless. It also wants the wheel spin a lot. You're lucky you've got ESC on here. Because this thing, I feel, would flip way too much with the amount of body roll you got. Yeah, look at that. Garbage. Also, what wheel drive is this? I feel as if it's got rear drive. It is rear drive. Didn't this thing have an east-west engine? It does have an east-west engine. Then why is it driving the rears and not the front? The hell? Why is that rear tire so thin? Because it's only 80 horsepower. Doesn't need a lot. It's like a bigger tire than a motorbike tire. Sometimes. But that is way too much body roll. If you can do this in your trike, you failed to make a good trike. I think I spotted something. Yep, they didn't clean up the collision mesh as well, which will be hurting it. The weight being so far out sideways, one, will stop it from rolling because it'll scrape instead of just rolling. But two, yeah, having it so far out, not helping your rolling. Could be driven by a chain like a motorbike. You would not have a chain running from the front of the car to the back of the car like that. No. Maybe all-wheel drive bias all the way to the rear. I don't think so. Oh, you know what? Oh, yeah, I think I know what you mean. Yeah, that is possible. Let's get this thing to like... You know what? Actually, I can do that right now. That's not going to help us, is it? Okay, that's locked now. There is no front drive. Otherwise, it would be moving the front wheels by now. This is so weird. How did he get an east-west engine to go rear-wheel drive? That doesn't make sense. Oh, wait, you know what? Hold on, locker. No, it's just moving the other wheel. Let's grab one of those. Okay, now that one is grabbed. Nope. No such luck. Turn the lock back on. That is so peculiar. Maybe visually rotated the engine 90 degrees. Ah, that would explain why they didn't have, whatchamacallit in it? What's the... My brain isn't working. Why they had the transmission and stuff painted out. Now, some trike developers, including Vanderhall, which is one of my favorites, found out that to make sporty trikes more stable, you give them front-wheel drive. Your rear suspension is too stiff. Your front suspension is... too soft. Like, that body roll. That's too much, bro. And if you didn't have the collision mesh like it was, this thing would roll way too easily. I love it. Looks ugly as sin. But that's wrong. Also, how is this thing understeering? What the hell? How's that even possible? Oh dear. Oh, thank God. It's also not great at turning and whatnot, but it's an eco car, so probably not really meant for this. High speed understeer. Let's take this to automation test track. No, hold on. Should take it to a normal road area. You know what? This feels like a city car, so we won't take it there either. Let's just go to West Coast and take it to Dockyards. Nice flat area. How you going, Pippa? Everything good? Rest? You can go see Alma instead of being in here. Your choice. You just want to look at me? Okay, she just wants to look at me. It looks like a car... Hello, Pippa. Like a car what 80 to 90-year-olds drive, but it handles like one of those with massive camber. I mean, it doesn't handle that great at moderate speeds or higher, so anything over 70, and that thing starts to understeer. At 40 even, it starts to understeer. I think Pippa wants to go out. Give me a second. You want to go out? There you go. Realistically, could be hydraulically driven. Ice provides pressure to the hydraulic motor in the rear connected to the motorbike transmission. Then, no. I mean, yes, that is possible, but no, that wouldn't happen. That is way too convoluted. You know, what does this thing feel like without ESC on? Brakes are okay on this car. Still way too fall-overy. Who's Phil? My cat used to be called Pepper. Okay. I sometimes call my, my dog Pippa as well. Did you mean Philman86? Then why use the @ symbol if you were just going Phil? You can just call me Phil. You know what? Around town, this feels a lot better. Except for the whole rolling over thing. I'm not going to give this thing a full Phil score because it is unrefined. That rollover factor... If I'm rolling over at 35 kilometers an hour, you've got an issue. Yeah, the rollover starts in the 30 kilometer an hour range. Yeah, and this thing would totally roll. It'd be a safety hazard. I know the Reliant Robin, but that probably wouldn't pass safety standards by today. They'd probably come up with some sort of like safety regulation that means that it needs to be stable. Fail a moose test horribly. I think I spotted something. It might actually do okay with trail braking since it moves all the way to the front. Or weight to the front. Yeah, you know what? That does do it. But it also slows down so incredibly much, it might just be that. Yeah, no, it actually just does a little bit better. But it understeers. I like it. Ugly as sin on the front. Back end's not so bad. Cool usage of the vehicle, I suppose. Is the rear suspension animated? I don't think it is. Look how stiff that rear suspension is. Oh dear. 8 out of 10. I love trikes, but it's not there yet, bro. VMA... what? Something. Where are there? Here we go. Suave. Is that what that's meant to be? Is that how you spell suave? I'm dyslexic. The Suave, when you want to have luxury but can't afford luxury prices. Two-door hatchback, which comes both sporty coupe feeling while having the practicality of a sedan. Boring economy car version of the soon-to-be sporty model. Oh, okay. Powered by 1.6-litre turbocharged 4-cylinder, allows for 35 miles per gallon. It's really good. This car must be not too heavy then. The engine produces 180 horsepower, 200 foot-pound of torque. I know what that is. Don't know what that is. With a decently low weight, 3,300 pounds. God damn, I don't know what that is. 1,500 kilos? That is not low weight. 0 to 60 in 7 seconds? Okay. Competes with the quarter mile at 14.8 seconds. Not bad. Rear suspension looks solid. Should squat a little while accelerating. It should, yes. Though it is only 80 horsepower. I feel as if the rear suspension is maybe just a little bit broken. What if I turn the locker off? Nah, it's still really solid. Suave is smooth in Spanish. Suave means smooth in English. Suave is, not so much a characteristic of an object, but suave is like a, hey, how you doing? You're very pretty. That's suave. Oh yeah, you're smooth. Yeah, real smooth. Usually is used sarcastically these days. Have you tried the new Monaco map or no? I don't want to switch to the new Monaco map because I want consistency amongst my cars that I'm testing, but I suppose I could switch over now. I might, yeah. Once I catch up to my 1988 again, maybe I'll switch. This one now. It looks really weird. The more I look at how the back end is really super long like that, the weirder it looks to me. Because it's not a hatchback. That is not the boot line of a hatchback. The boot seam line should be a little bit different. So this is meant to be apparently a little bit sporty. If this is not the sporty model, why does it have twin exhaust? Also, I feel if it's not the sports model, things should probably have maybe about 150 or less horsepower. Probably a smidgen bit less. Maybe like 140. You're quite late today, Sneaky Mr. Wiggles? Well, it is at an unusual time, so that is understandable. It's a modern map with actual curbs and braking. Here's the problem. Is I've been driving the other cars on that shitty map. Though I wouldn't really call it shitty. It's like the unrefined map. ESC is kicking my butt with trying to go through corners too much. Does this thing understeer too much? Or is it compensating for oversteer so much it's causing understeer? 3? Oh, they're fake. Yeah, they are, I know. But usually that's something that they only do for sports cars, which encourages you to get the sports cars. Oh, it understeers chronically. Otherwise, you have like an asymmetrical kind of like bland, boring looking car. You want the sports model, which is also usually the luxury model. Lots of understeer. ESC saves that. Let's try now. Yeah, nah. Sports mode always sucks. I love ESC, sorry, comfort mode to be stability control without traction control. That would be cool. I don't know which one takes me to the racetrack. Hold on, there's actually road signs. Let's go check that out. Promenade? No, I don't want to go to the promenade. So I think this is probably a better way to get to where I want to go. Or the understeer. Pretty bad. It is front-wheel drive, but you could probably still do a better job of, maybe giving more accurate suspension in the rear. We got double wishbone in the rear. It probably didn't need to be double wishbone. Probably a semi-trailing arm or torsion beam. Torsion beam not being great suspension. I have no idea where I... yeah, this way to the racetrack. ESC is... oh, poopy bumholes. I mean, it's better than not having ESC because you've created a vehicle that understeers chronically. Okay. This should take me to where I need to be. Oh, too much front bias on the brakes? What are the brakes on this thing? I've forgotten. We have 3 piston on the front, that's not right. And then 2 piston minuscule brakes on the rear. And they're full brake. Yeah, okay. You've probably got like 50% too much brake power on the front compared to the rear. Bring that bias down a lot, please. Wait, do these make sound? They do make sound. I never knew that. Alright. That's a thing that I've learned. How do I get to the racetrack from here? I'm a little bit lost. I think I know where I am, but I don't exactly know where I enter. Where do I enter? Here we go, okay. There you go. Much better. Let's see how this thing does on a track now. I might have to turn the ESC off and be a lot more aggressive with the car. No. I don't think ESC off is going to help. For driving feel, that is. Let's try it, though. And see if we can just be, like, super aggressive with the car. Also, it feels a little bit boatish. You said, though, that it's not a sports model, so that's okay. If it's not expected to drive fast, then softer suspension will work. Yeah, you really can't accelerate out of corners in this thing. I'm guessing since it's budget, it probably doesn't have any sort of special differential either. So that might be hurting its performance as well. Brakes are pretty underwhelming, bro. Also, that side vent, I just realized is actually convex, not concave as a vent. So that's probably a no from me, probably causing more drag than what you'd want. Yeah, see, the problem is not entering the corner vigorously. It's the exit of the corner where this thing starts to fail quite hard. And yeah, no corner entry is really going to help that, except like mitigating it with always having a late apex. So, brake more in a straight line, and then be straighter when you're exiting. But you have to enter the corner so late. Stiffer rear sway bar. That's like the simplest fix right now, I would say, to get this car to handle better. It's not atrocious, it's just not lively. Like Blake. I don't actually know who Blake Lively is. I just brought up a name that I'd heard before. Okay. I think we've got the full gist of this car. Let's go ahead and give it a fill score. Undo all this. Styling. Now, I'm not a big fan of this. I like the idea that you tried something new, and I appreciate that, but it just doesn't look good, especially the lip on there. That's really what's doing it. This vent on the side, it doesn't match the body lines well enough, and it's also the wrong sort of vent to fit on this era of car. Rear taillights also look very gaudy, but I don't mind it. The front looks better than the rear and the side. Let's go a 6 on that one. Are you planning to build a car today? Me? No? This is only reviewing cars. I'm thinking I might do live build and races. So not just the race part, but also the build part as well live. So look forward to that one. Accelerate. And that'll happen if we don't get enough submissions during the week for the Reddit. We'll switch over to that at some point, because it seems that this is losing a bit of popularity. Acceleration, it was pretty mid. 6. Did they put that in here? 7 seconds. You know what? 7 seconds is not slow. It just feels slow. But then again, you can't accelerate on the corner because this thing understeers crazily. Handling, 6. Fun factor, 4. Cool factor, 4. Yeah. Trackability, 5. At least it won't die. It's just not great. Features. What was the price of this? They didn't give me a real price tag, so I can't really comment too much on it. Looks okay. I don't know. 5. Comfort. Looked fairly comfortable. Seats are... They don't look like the most comfortable seats, to be honest. They look realistic and good, but they don't look the most comfortable. So we're going to go... Also, what's the leg room and everything? Leg room situation is fine. Rear room is adequate. Though I see that they squished up the seat for that, but that's still acceptable. 8. Quality. Pounds. So it's probably British. And they said it's meant to be a budget car. So we'll go 4 on that. Practicality. It's only a 2-door, but it is more seats and it is a rear area. So let's go like a 6 on that one. Value, can't do. Next one, can't do. The Suave is 30k for 2012. It says it's 3,003. Oh, that's the weight. You haven't put your name in there anywhere, so I don't know who made this car. I'm gonna guess it's not you. J-Beam editing, none. Would I buy this car? No. Je ne sais quoi factor. We give it like a 5. I feel it's got a little bit. Realism and commonality. What was the engine again? Let's have a look. Decent engine all round. Full valve cylinder, right? Yep. And suspension on the front is McPherson strut? Sure. All except for the brakes is pretty darn good. Let's go like a 9 on that one. And a score of 68. It's actually pretty atrocious. Those drink holders are in the ideal position for knocking over every drink during spirited driving. Let's have a look. Nah, they're okay. Because it is an automatic, so it's not as if you're really going to be doing that. I think that's an okay place for couples. That's not uncommon. Unless you've got American cups, which are like really massive. You know what, actually, I realized that it's not British. When they said pounds, they weren't talking about price. Probably American? Oh, US, yeah, okay. Let's go a little bit higher then. Quality. 7. Probably doesn't feel very good. Practicality, sure. Features. They said it's a budget car, so it's probably not packed out. A score of 71. A little bit better. You're at like the minimum scoring sort of range now of what you'd expect for a car. Phil, do I have a job? Sometimes, but not really anymore. Didn't expect you to be alive this hour. Yeah, if you go on my Discord, you'll notice that I do a lot more of my announces there. I don't really announce much on YouTube. I really should, though, shouldn't I? That's why you also got to turn on the bell icon, so then you get notifications into your phone. Also, by the way, welcome, Octane. American Cups, where the small is large. Yeah. Cool car. But could have been a lot cooler. Next car is, oh, the Zorro X. It's, okay, it's maybe a little bit ungainly to look at, but we'll give it a bit of a test drive. Okay. No description, so I can't give it a full fill score, really. I am the creator of the Suave. My Reddit name is different on YouTube. Oh, generally, put your name with your car then if it's different from YouTube. Then your score, what was it, 30,000? You really do have to put that in. Value. Probably not going to have great resale. Probably not going to plummet either. Ongoing cost, 35 miles per gallon. Probably not too bad. Let's go 6 on that one. You know what, 7. It's probably really good on fuel. So a score of 84. Not bad. I don't know how did it get so low? I think it's because it's not very fun, not very good for a weekend car. And the daily, because it's only a 2-door hatchback. Oh, sorry, yeah, hatchback. It's not gonna be great. What was the engine again in this thing? Let's do the name and shame again. It sounds like they got race exhaust. Yeah, they do. Is that also flat plane? What kind of engine is this? Oh, it's a 6-cylinder. Okay, yeah, I was thinking, like, that doesn't sound like either V8. Okay. How do they have race exhaust, but yet it's still made a slow car? It doesn't handle too bad. I mean, it's wallowy as hell. Weight is 1,700 kilos. That would explain why it, does what it, why it's so wallowy. And not very fast, considering that it has not an insignificant engine. With the ESC on, this thing actually feels rather nice. Do we have all-wheel drive or just rear? We have all-wheel drive, okay. Surprisingly, because usually all-wheel drives feel very I don't know what you call it. Very numb. Especially from new creators, which I believe this one is. Who made it? Let's clear this out now. Lazy Shift 12. I don't know if they're here in the chat. They're not piping up, so I'm guessing not. We'll just give it like a good rundown. We won't actually give it a fill score, or even a simplified fill score. We'll give it like minor scores, but not like the overall thing. Because it's a beginner car. And as a beginner car, this thing is actually pretty nice. I would have liked it if you had have experimented with actually just doing rear-wheel drive, though, by the way. Because all-wheel drive, sure, is the simplest way to create a nice handling car. But I would love it if you would challenge yourself at some point, when you're more comfortable with the games, to try making two-wheel drive cars. Rear-wheel drive being the trickier of the two. That name sounds familiar? I think they were in here earlier. We're struggling to reach 200 kilometers now. It feels like this thing should probably have a little bit more power. And then I feel like this thing does not have enough drag. Because it took forever to get to 200. But then when it got to 200, it just kept on going. As if it's got like really high-end torque or something. It just feels nice. Which is surprising for a beginner car. If they're not a beginner, I'm sorry. It is the by design characteristics, it looks like you've played for about 40 hours, maybe 100. Got any suggestions for exotic engines using the engine simulator I put into to put in auto beam car? Oh, okay. Go if you wanted to challenge yourself, and this will be quite challenging. Try doing a 60-degree V8. But not only that, try doing it in both like the standard sort of crankshaft that you'd have, but also with what's the word? With a flat plane V8 in there. With a flat plane firing order, if that's possible. I know it's not entirely possible to get exactly the same sound, but that would be rather cool. In fact, actually, I want to do that if you don't do it yourself. Rear engine wheel drive is probably the hardest layout to make handle well on beam. Yeah, mid-engine is also pretty garb. Rotary 36. I don't think they have rotaries enabled yet, though it is going to be possible in the future, they said. But I don't believe that it's really a thing that they're focusing on right now. Right now they're focusing on other things, including making it into a game, which if they do, oh yes please, that would be fantastic. They did say that that's what they're gonna do, or that's what their goal is. Now whether they follow through with that goal, that's a different thing. A lot of people drop out of projects for many different reasons. It seems they're getting overwhelmed with the amount of people trying to contact them all the time though. So they might get burnout. Who knows? The other thing is some people get really pushy with things, so don't harass him. Saying like, oh, when's the game coming out? When's the game coming out? It's probably going to be years until a game comes out. Don't think that it's going to happen anytime soon. The fact that he did what he did in, I think it was like a couple of months or something like that, was phenomenal. But that is in nowhere like in a playable state as a game. Because for one, creating an engine is a pain in the dick, if you saw. Especially if you want to do anything like non-standard, like what I was trying to do. Even trying to create standard stuff sometimes with like the crankshaft designs and whatnot, a real pain. Oh, nice music. But yeah, there can also be major delays. He may scrap the idea for a better idea, which is to maybe work with another game companies. Now, apparently he's been contacted by a bunch of different developers, including the automation people. It doesn't sound like there's really anything going to happen there. I think it was more of just like a... You know what, they might have just offered him a job and he was like, you know what, I don't feel like working for you. I feel like I want to take this on my own, which should be fine. But there might be something happen there, I don't know. He was very vague on the matter, saying that he's been contacted by a lot of companies. So, yeah. Picking automation, when maybe somebody like Polyphony, or Polyphony, or however you pronounce it. As a kid, I always used to pronounce it Polyphony, but apparently people call it Polyphony. If they contacted him, they'd probably be able to offer him a lot more money. But I think he wants to go it alone. I think that's his whole shtick. But he is, I believe, married, so he'd also have to take that into consideration. There's a lot of, like, up in the air at the moment. At the moment, I think what he's doing is he's going and he's leaving it open source, so any company can take it. They can have fun. Physics and all that sort of stuff is calculated, but not represented in any way, and there's no feedback into the game engine, so... Like, my inline 7-cylinder, there's no... Like, he knows how much force is being applied in that crankshaft, and whether that crankshaft would be going over, like, what an actual limitation would be. But he hasn't written in any limitations to how strong that crankshaft is. So it'd be hard to tell whether that crankshaft would actually survive what we were trying to do with it in that one stupid video we did together. I mean, good, it's a tutorial, but, like, that engine I made was stupid, and I love it. Also, by the way, I just want to quickly show you. I did finish that Engine off. Desktop. I have the wrong engine lined up at the moment. I'm trying some different engines I've seen other people do. I think it's just called i7, is it not? Main. i7. Nope. i7. And i7. Hopefully that's all I need. Otherwise I have to go on and grab all of the details. Did that work? Did I get the right? Yeah, here we go. Okay. And I've got the idle to be like so incredibly low, the thing just wants to stall at every moment. And here, let me try to restart it now. Let me move it over here as well. We'll also... No, you know what? We'll leave it there. There's a real massive audio delay. It won't start now. Because it's very temperamental. You have to hold it. There we go. And it's holding. And sometimes it will just stall randomly. And also, the red line is set to 75... They're just stalled. The red line is set to 7500. It won't go to red line because it's just so suffocated of an engine. I love it. There we go. So let's go like minimal throttle and then let go. Yeah. I've got it idling so low. Sounds like what would happen to real i7. No. There is i7 fixed. That's all right. Assets? Engines? Yeah, okay. i7 underscore fixed. I believe it's the same here. Underscore fixed. Oh. And what is in the engine itself? It's under engine, right? I wish the name of the engine was at the very top. That's really only my only complaint. Or maybe I have it just calling the file and then it not having to put the name in itself. Engine, inline 7. There we go. Oh, cancel. Let's try launching that again now. This is a real, what you'd probably be more like. What? Error log. Unexpected token. Main line 7 and 8? This file did work. Assets, hold on. No, engines, fixed. Oh, it was already open. I'm an idiot. That, I believe, is the name of the car. Let's search for engine. That is the only engine. Okay. What are we looking for? Main 7 and 8. But these are comments. It shouldn't be throwing up errors. Okay, well, let's try removing it. That's weird. That should not be happening. Oh, still throwing up errors. Wait, what? Okay, so it crashes. Error log. Yeah, main 7 and 8, what? Unexpected token? Is that not the name of the engine? Have I gotten the wrong name? Hold on. Let's look up the tutorial on how to change the names of things. Wiki. Frequently asked questions. How do I change which engine? Okay. So we're looking for public node. Okay, yeah, I think I got that wrong. Oh, so it is just called i7. Okay. Okay. That always gets me. I don't know why it's not. Just call upon the file and have one engine per file. There we go. Okay, yeah. This thing is not meant to stall. But this is what an i7 would sound like. In fact, actually, you know what? Let's go in and modify this a little bit to get a little bit more idle. Idle... Throttle plate. Let's set that to 0. I believe that's correct. There we go. A little bit better now. Probably could go less throttle than that. Get a nice low chuggy sort of idle. Let's go like 2 there. You know what? We could even go less than that, I think. 3. That's much more of an idle. I wonder how this thing goes under power. A little bit of power, and then... Oh, this thing has no power? Oh, now it doesn't want to start. What? What? Why doesn't it want to start now? Oh, we're in first gear. Oh, it doesn't like to drive in first gear. I see now. What's our speed? 60 kilometers an hour. This thing is suffering. Why is the gear ratio so short? What the hell? Alright, let's go. We're going 60 miles per hour, guys. I feel as if, like, the speedo read is off. And then change that gear down. I think it went up to, like, 20,000 just then as a blip, and then completely went. Anyway, back to this car. Back to what we're actually meant to be doing. I love that. I love that program so much. I'm going to be... Like, I've been fiddling with it myself and doing other things. Your HP and torque readouts are 0. I don't think I actually gave it the dyno test, so I don't actually know what it is. Did I close... No, I didn't close it out. So we can bring it back up. So, dyno, full power. That does not look like 0 to me. And it has all of its power down low and then drops off hideously towards the top. That's 330 horsepower and 546 foot-pound of torque. It's a 5.4 liter. That's a lot of power. Bruh, that's a lot of power. The thing doesn't want to hit its red line, though. Let's stall it. Yeah. God, I love this program so much. It's so good. Oh, it's got a power readout here. I didn't know that. I never even noticed that there before. Wait, does it have full power at idle? Ah, okay. I never noticed this here before. Wait, if you do hold RPM, it fails to give a readout. Oh, 42,000 RPM is the highest it'll go. I'm sorry for headphone users. Sounds like a recorder. You know what it sounded a little bit like? It sounded like that leader of the robot Confederation Army thing from Star Wars. The one that like speaks while changing a dial. It's a restriction? What? That's actually pretty cool. I didn't know that the thing actually gave readouts of horsepower there. God, I want to play more with that. Anyway, let's go have a look at the finer details of this car. So, number one, don't just go the race exhaust. Just go a short cast, unless you're going for a race car, which this one might be. Next thing is 4 valves per cylinder on a single camshaft is going to net you a very unreliable camshaft. Especially if you're going with a race engine. The stresses that are going to have to be on a higher revving engine like this one is 8,500 RPM on one camshaft, which probably has high camshaft lifters. It's probably going to snap a camshaft unless it's like a really expensive forged camshaft. No manufacturer is going to do that. It's also less efficient. 4 valves per cylinder done with 4 camshafts on a V engine, or like two camshafts, 2 overhead cams. Individual throttle bodies is also really only for top-end sports cars. This is a top-end sports car, but I'm guessing, so I'm going to assume that that one's okay. As for interior, I think you know what you've done here. It's got most of the stuff here, but it's very basic. Yeah, but it's okay. It's possible. I don't actually judge people much on the interior. Only when doing certain things do I ever bother to even look at it. And I only give more of a kudos than anything else for doing an interior properly and fully. Your thing sticking out here, no good. I've, on multiple occasions, talked about leading lines. Let's have a quick look. If I can show you. Leading lines. So here's a good illustration of leading lines. So you've got leading lines that are leading this way, but then you've also got the leading lines leading this way. She's also following a leading line. Those are leading lines. They lead you up into here. This isn't exactly a leading line, but it leads your eyes to a certain part of the screen. Here's leading lines. This leading line is snaking up to the focal point of the image. This leading line is giving you an image to, like leading your eyes to lead to here. Your car has no leading lines. Generally, oh, you know what, actually, that's a bit of a misnomer. There's a bit of a leading line here that goes a little bit here. And the scale there also kind of feels like it matches a little bit, but it's not really great. This leading line here almost matches that one, but it's a little too far off. Also, this is just completely wrong. Headlights also, like, they're a very different design to everything else that you've chosen. Choosing headlights that match this bonnet line, though, I found in this car, really super hard. So I can't poo-poo too much, but what I see here is wrong. Maybe cover it up and make your own bonnet lines, which is entirely possible. Use, like, the patchwork stuff that's in the fixtures area, cover that up with some patchwork, and then use some trim. Now, the trim that I would use is actually not in the trim section for some weird reasons under vents. There's some things there that you could use to make your own sort of looking things. Front splitter doesn't really match. This does not match at all. Does not match the design in any sort of way. The rest of it looks okay. Your bonnet bulge doesn't really... It feels like it should go further down the hood maybe a little bit. Top is okay. I feel as if this gutter line, if you're going to be having rails, is where... roof racks. This gutter line is where generally the roof racks would go in. What else we got in here? You can turn the chassis invisible, by the way, and just make your own if you wanted to. As for the rear, taillights do not fit in here at all. At all. What you could have potentially done is... made this a 3D... so have it in alignment, horizontally aligned or whatever, then go to 3D fixture. Drag this fixture out off the side of the car, then rotate it inwards to look on the angle at the car, and then select 2D. And then it'll smack on there at that angle, and then try to make that fit as much as possible. Have this angle line here go over the rear boat line, and then use patchwork to 1, cut it out, and then 2, put bodywork back into that area. And I think that would give you a much better design than what you've got here. This here also doesn't work. Maybe if you made it horizontally aligned. Your exhausts look completely wrong. Maybe angle them up if you wanted to have this sort of exhaust. Maybe make them a little bit shorter. Not have them so close to these strakes here, because those will overheat, melt, and become completely shit. Weird, I just saw a graphical glitch. This vent here, no. Tisk tisk. Just wrong. Fuel cap, maybe if it was a design thing, but it feels as if it's completely out of place on this car. Rear wing does not match at all. It's also mounted on the body, not in the boot. So if you tried to open the boot up, it's going to smack into the wing. That's why that doesn't look right. This vent here also doesn't look good. Doesn't look right either. Also, it's like ugly with like a big massive lip around it. Hate it. The exhaust changes the next... The exhaust changes the next build will probably dramatically change what you should use. Cast is still usually going to be the normal car choice. Yes. All hail the noodle tube racing headers, though. I know, right? If you're going to go with a tubular exhaust for a normal road car, what you would have is just probably long tubular or short tubular. What you are not going to see on a normal road car is race tubular. You just won't see that on a road car, unless it's like a aftermarket modified, that is. Or a race car that is put on the road, which could also potentially happen. There's a lot of useful trim stuff in vents. Yeah. I know buried under weird 60s chrome vent, there's a lot of useful lines and such. Yeah, sometimes you can turn the chrome off and you still get, like, good stuff. It's got a wig? Huh? Why this... It have roll rails? Oh, roof rails, sorry. It's a wagon. I don't know. Just seems right to have it on there. But yeah, no, they are in the wrong place. The car overall, I will give you a fair score. It handles nicely, but it's a bit of a cop-out to go all-wheel drive. As a beginner builder, I don't mind. You've got most things though. You've got indicators, and rear indicators. You've got all the lights you need. 6 out of 10. It is not a looker. I'm a little bit averse to looking at it. Also, by the way, welcome Warbot Steph to the stream. But that was the last car today. It looks like a pure automation guy. Yes. It looks like what everybody creates at first in automation. You know what, actually, it doesn't look like what everyone chooses at first. What everyone usually chooses, that one weird SUV body with like the different colored panel on the side that's like one of the newest car bodies, and thinks, oh yeah, that car body looks really good. And then they don't realize that it's probably the hardest car body to work with in automation. You missed everything? That's fine, bro. You've at least caught something. But yeah, that is it for today's stream. Oh yeah, also the stream is split in two because of like a glitch. I didn't bother renaming the stream because I only did like probably 20 minutes in the first stream or something like that. Maybe half an hour, I'm not sure. You know, actually I could have a look. Also, this video went bang off because of Anj sharing that video. So thank you to Anj for that one, bro. Live? 36 minutes, yeah, on the first one, which was a glitch. Apparently monetization is off? Oh, come on. Hey, everybody, enjoy ads. Oh, why does it default to having ads off? That's so frustrating. Easiest to work with a 70s era? Yes. I'd like 70s are really easy, I would say. From 60s to early 2000s is kind of like the cutoff point. Is like the easiest place to work in automation. Now, you may call this a 20s car, a 2020 sort of car, or 2010 sort of car. But this is really like, the design you've chosen here is early mid 2000s. It's like, that's kind of the cutoff. And then after any being outside of those bounds becomes increasingly harder. Older is not so hard, but on newer cars, it gets exponentially harder. Creating a modern looking car is so much like learning involved in design, especially design in automation. I got 2 ads watching this. This is an insult. I'm sorry, bro. You've gotten the whole stream with no money, with no adverts. But I need to pay rent. Oh, wait, no, I don't. What I need to do is buy a new graphics card because that's why my computer shut off in the first place. Might contact my mum to get me a new graphics card. Mommy, I need a new graphics card. And you know what, actually, I might as well do that tomorrow since today is Sunday and tomorrow is a full working day and I won't have to rush her out. But yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you all for joining me today. Unless anybody wants to send memes or anything for me to look at, I think that's pretty much the end of the stream. So you got until the end of me saying my goodbyes. Thank you... Not Ruben. Crownless re-upped their subscription, and Ringu. Sorry. Ringu gave out, I think, 10 new channel memberships today. Thank you so much for that. Welcome, Automotive Out. AKA Ot Design. That would be so much easier. Making good-looking modern headlights is easier than 2000s. Yeah, that's because they don't have good 2000s headlights. That's what I'll say there. But yeah, thank you everyone for being here. That is Comic Quartz, Anto, Sneaky Mr. Wiggles, Where Vixen, Admiral Obvious, Swag Bucks, Automotive. That'll do. Epic Demand. Warbot. Thank you for being here. Echoman, thank you for being here. Who else we got in here? Swagbucks, thank you for being here. UDP Booter, thank you for being here. Octane, thank you for being here. McDonald's, thank you for being here, bro, and coming back and all that sort of stuff. I think Where Vixen. Wait, no, I think I already said that one. Whatever. Border 14010, thank you for being here on and off, even still. Thank you very much for being here. But that is the end of today's stream. I will, you know what, we're going to switch over now to outro names, and we're going to have to do a little bit of editing, because I know there's some changes here. Thank you everyone that are channel members, though. I think what happened is that Crownless, at least, is now down a rank. I could be wrong. Crownless... No, Crownless is... No, Crownless has moved down. So let's move Crownless down. Thank you for being here in second tier, by the way, Crownless. Very appreciated. But you've been relegated, unfortunately. You know, we'll put you on the short list. And we'll put you at the top, because you were... Okay, that's not how that goes. And oof, a lot of people lost their subscriptions today when they ran out. I can't figure out who, because channel members doesn't update for like a day or two most of the time. So I'm going to have to wait. For now, your names will stay up there, and they'll change later. But for now, I'll catch you all next time. Goodbye.